Tonight's ball game on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com has been driven by Greg Hubler Ford and built by Universal Roofing and brought to you by Peterman Brothers Heating and Air Conditioning, by Werner Financial, Genesis Sports Performance, and by The Mower Shop. This has been a presentation of IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
Joining you from Frankton High School on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, it's doubleheader basketball action this Friday evening as the Frankton Eagles host the Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Colin Nichols, Joey Paternostro bringing you the call this evening. Joey, doubleheader basketball. Not very often do we get to do this on a Friday night, but it's a special occasion here as we get ready to get this first game on the way. It's senior night for the girls basketball team here at Frankton High School.
No place I would rather be. Maybe it's the caffeine, but probably not. I am excited. I'm through the roof. Like you just said, it's senior night. We got the girls playing here. It's fantastic. It's going to be some very good basketball coming our way. I'm excited.
Frankton comes into the evening 9-11 overall, 6-6 on their home hardwood, 3-5 on the road. Their last game was just a few days ago. They were on the road at 3A Yorktown. Tough loss there to a very good Yorktown Tiger team. Final score 60-40. When you play up a class like that, especially as you get into basketball territory, 2A and 3A, there's not a whole lot of difference separating the two like you might see in football where you get up into the 5 and 6A level. But nonetheless, this Frankton team losing by 20, that is not very characteristic of them. A lot of their losses this season haven't been by that large of a margin. Look back earlier, to Daleville, 1A. They lost 55-50 in that contest. A couple of skewed scores. Monroe Central was an earlier one this year as well, 47-41. This is a Frankton team that is going to come out and compete every single night regardless of the score, and being just under 500 this late into an Indiana high school basketball season, pretty impressive, especially just with 2 games left on your regular season schedule before you hit that sectional play.
Colin, like we've talked about, it's senior night, so these girls are definitely excited to be out here. The Eagles are on a little bit of a stretch here. They're 4-2 in their last 6 games. They're on a 3-game home winning streak coming into this one, so they've got a little bit of momentum like you just talked about. Tough loss to Yorktown, a 20-point loss. That is tough to bounce back from, so it'll be a good show tonight to see how they bounce back from that and just how well they play, whether that's together as a team and individually, and just how important Coach Bates can get them to jump right back on that win train like we talked about with 2 games left this year.
For frame of reference, Yorktown being a 3A school, they do play a schedule that is a combination of both 3 and 4A basketball. They're 12-6 overall on the year. Right now, Frankton sits at 4th place in the Central Indiana Conference, as this is a conference matchup tonight. We might as well hit on that. They're 2-2 in conference play, so they're just one game back from Mississinawa, who's at 3-2. And then right now, Oak Hill and Alexandria Monroe dominating the conference. Oak Hill 6-0 in conference play, Alexandria 5-0, and the overalls, Oak Hill 19-1, Alexandria 20-1. So a lot of firepower there towards the top of the CIC. And since it is senior night, we might as well list off the 3 seniors on this Frankton roster: Emma Key, Ann Curtis, and Sophia Hoagland. Those 3 have been very impactful for the Eagles team this year, especially Emma Key, the leading scorer. Points per game, she's got 12.3, 3.1 rebounds a game, and a really solid 2.5 assists per game number as well.
Yeah, the Eagles, they're going to come out. They're going to rely heavily on their seniors tonight, likely going to run all 3 of them out there in the starting lineup. I would expect no less from Coach Bates. So it's certainly going to be a good one, and it's going to be a nice little end to their home season, because the final 2 games that they play at Mississinawa and at Elwood. So this will be a nice way to cap off their home season as Frankton Eagles.
Yeah, really interesting into the year. You're playing the team that right now sits 1 spot ahead of you in conference, and then 2 games from now to close out the season, you're on the road taking on the team that sits 1 game behind you in the conference standing. So really interesting into the year for the Frankton Eagles. Let's turn to the side of the Blackford Bruins, who have not had necessarily the best season so far this year, just 2-19 under first-year head coach Aaron Murphy. They finished the year last year 19-7, so definitely a growth and rebuild year for the Bruins, but they have come away with a pair of really good wins. Earlier in the year, they're on November 11th, 44-32, that win over Cowan. And then on January 4th, a neutral game against Blue River, the final score there 23-19. But man, it has been a tough year to fight through for the Blackford Bruins, and they're sitting at the bottom of the Central Indiana Conference right now, 0-5 in conference play. But still, it is Indiana high school basketball. You can't take really any school lightly in the conference. Any team can win on any given day, and I think that's what makes this sport specifically so exciting, is you see upsets left, right, and center in the game of basketball, and this one tonight could be one of those.
Just like my father's told me throughout my entire life, that's exactly why we play the game, because you never know what can happen. The stats can say all they want, the analysts can say all they want, but at the end of the day, it all matters on who wants it more and who comes out on the court and shows up the most. Blackford coming off of a tough loss against Anderson Prep. Now, they're on a 4-game losing streak, but that latest loss to Anderson Prep was a 5-point loss, 37-32. Now, they're a pretty good Anderson Prep. They're a pretty good 1A school. They're 11-8. That's not the best. However, that's a winning record, and Blackford put up a good fight. So they're coming off some would call that as a 2-19 team. That was a winning loss, if you will. So they've got a little bit of momentum coming into this one, so they got a little bit of grit.
There is also something good to note about Blackford, is just how young this team is. Lily McCammon, a sophomore. Carly Lease, a freshman. Addison Sargent, a sophomore. Malia Limley, a senior, one of the few on the team, but up and down the board, freshman, junior, sophomore, junior, senior, junior, freshman. This is a young team that has a whole lot of lack of experience, but has a whole long career left to go. So in 2 or 3 years, you could be looking at another one of those 19-7 seasons if you are Blackford.
You certainly could be. They've got 8 upperclassmen in total. So, like you just said, they've got a lot of inexperience and a lot of we haven't really been there before. So that certainly plays into the 2-19 record. But that's okay, because every season, as long as you get better as a team and as long as you're learning along the way, then it's a win.
It will be a win, and hopefully another good opportunity for Blackford to come out and be competitive tonight against Frankton. We do have doubleheader basketball, so the boys game will begin right after the conclusion of this first girls game, which has just about 6 minutes left until we tip off for that. But the Frankton Eagles boys team 4-7 against a Blackford team that is 8-5. Again, two teams really, really close and two teams that can be really, really competitive any given night. Should be a great night of high school basketball from the Eagles Nest at Frankton High School. Before we get this broadcast underway, don't forget that tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing. You can call Universal at 317-257-0779 or visit universalrfg.com. Tonight's game is also driven to you by Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. You can experience the Greg Hubler promise at GregHublerAuto.com. The Mower Shop in Fishers, mowers, snow throwers, parts, and more, all found at themowershop.com. And, of course, Peterman Heating and Cooling. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. And last but certainly not least, JC Golf Carts. Small town charm meets exceptional service at Johnson County Golf Carts. Whether you're a seasoned golfer, weekend adventurer, or simply looking for a convenient way to navigate around town, they have street-legal golf carts that are just right for you. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Johnson County Golf Carts located in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. Obviously not the most opportune time to go buy your golf cart, but if you really want to keep yourself on edge and get yourself in the spirit for golf season here in hopefully a few weeks when it starts to warm up and courses start to open, JC Golf Carts, definitely the place you want to go for that. I did check out their inventory. It's pretty loaded.
Well, see, this might be the perfect time. It might be like December 26th is the perfect time to buy Christmas decorations. So maybe this is the exactly perfect time to go buy a golf cart.
Get yourself ready to get out there on the links come springtime. But once again, thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors who make these broadcasts possible for us every single week up here in the Muncie area for Indiana High School Sports. We're going to step aside for just a second, rejoin you in a moment on the sideline with Lily Herrera and head coach of the Frankton Eagles, Jeff Bates, to talk about senior night. That's coming up in 30 seconds on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back to the Eagles Nest on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Just about 3 minutes left before tip-off of the girls' game, Frankton and Blackford. Before we get into more of that, let's head down to the sideline with Lily Herrera and the head coach of the Frankton Eagles, Jeff Bates.
This group of seniors has put in a lot of hard work. They are getting focused, getting ready for sectional. And it'd be great for them to really kind of push through and have a great game execution-wise tonight.
Absolutely, and Blackford is 2-19 on the season. How do you take the focus away from the stats and keep the girls from underestimating your opponent?
Well, and that's always a challenge. But tonight, being senior night, I don't think they'll have that problem. They all seem to be ready to go and excited, so hopefully we won't have to worry about that.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
I think that's a really, really good way to put it for head coach Jeff Bates of the Frankton Lady Eagles. It's not going to be difficult for that team to not focus on the fact that Blackford doesn't have the best statistics up and down the line. It's senior night. There's a lot of energy in the room, a highly anticipated matchup for really any high school athlete when they get to that final home game of their career. Go out, have fun with your team, ball out one last time, and a perfect opportunity for the Frankton Eagles to do that here tonight.
Certainly, Colin. I remember back from my day, there was a lot of emotion in senior night. So I expect to see a lot of emotion, hopefully very little tears, but I would expect some tears come the end of the ball game. But I do expect to see some solid, some grit, some determination, and some great fight from both sides, but I would expect to see a little bit more from the Eagles.
I can't believe that, what are you, 19, 20 years old?
19.
19. I can't believe at 19 you just gave us the back in my day speech.
Well, you know what? Back in my day feels like forever ago, but
college does that to you. You get through a couple years of that, and it seems like, just yesterday you were walking away from high school, and now all of a sudden you're halfway through your college career. I'm in my last semester, which is insane to think about.
You're old compared to me.
I really am old.
You're a geezer.
I don't know that I want to have you on any more broadcasts with me anymore after that. That was flat out disrespectful. All love to Joey, though. Thanks for the back in my day speech. We're going to step aside for one more break, get through the national anthem. When we rejoin you here at the Eagles Nest at Frankton High School, we're going to get you into the starting lineups and then down to the hardwood. Doubleheader basketball action between the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins. Central Indiana Conference rivalry matchup on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
From Frankton High School, it's IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Welcome back to the beginning of doubleheader basketball action between the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins. The girls tipping things off for us here this afternoon. Joey, time to get down to business, down to the nitty-gritty, some would say, with the starting five for both sides. Go ahead and run us through the visiting 2A Blackford Bruins.
On the starting lineup, we've got freshman at number 2, Carly Lees. Sophomore, number 3, Addison Sargent. Senior, number 10, Malia Limely. Junior, number 22, Faith Watkins. And junior, number 24, Reagan Ridgway. They are coached by Aaron Murphy in his first season as the Blackford Bruins head coach, and they are 2-19 on the year.
0-9 away. The record, though, again, something that head coach Jeff Bates says is something not to focus on. It's Indiana high school basketball, in my opinion, I think the best state, hands down, in the country to go ahead and try to play basketball in if you are a high school athlete. Let's look at the hosting Frankton Eagles ahead of their senior night matchup with the Blackford Bruins. Running out in the starting five is going to be the 5'8" senior guard, number 22, Emma Key. The 5'11" senior forward, number 25, Ann Curtis. The 5'10" senior forward, number 30, Sophia Hoagland. The 5'6" sophomore guard, number 32, Layla Dietzer. And the 6'1" junior forward, number 34, Macy Curtis. The Frankton Eagles, coached by Jeff Bates in his second year with the squad, 9-11 overall, 6-6 at home. good opportunity to make that a winning record on your home hardwood to finish out the season. And what a better way to do it, too, than on senior night. I'm telling you, and we've said this before. We've been here a couple times already this year to Frankton High School to call games. Maybe one of the best small gymnasium environments that you could ask for. The lights are down, spotlights are going. The student section has what looks like mini red lightsaber-looking things. People have their flashlights out, either recording or just waving it to kind of give it more of an ambiance in here. This is a phenomenal environment to play some basketball in.
Not to mention the live band. You've got the announcer. They're amazing. He's doing a great job so far. Props to him. The scoreboard being the main light, the main illumination light, other than the lights above us. I don't know how much better it gets for 2A school. This is fantastic.
I mean, Indiana's got some pretty historic gymnasiums across the state. You go down to Newcastle, and they've got probably, I think it is still the biggest high school gymnasium in the country, and especially in the state of Indiana. Mishawaka, the Cavemen, they've got a pretty good-looking stadium up north. It's a full state full of great atmospheres to watch some basketball in, and it's no different here this evening. Let's look at the stat breakdown one more time for Frankton. Emma Key, the leading scorer on the team, 12.3 points per game, getting ready to play her final home matchup as a Frankton Eagle. Ann Curtis not far behind her, 7.1 points per game. And then it's pretty solid after that, but I think one of the most impressive stat lines is Sophia Hoagland, 5.8 points a game, just under 6 rebounds, and a couple of assists a game for her as well. Should be an exciting matchup as we get ready to get things started here from the Eagles' Nest at Frankton High School. Both teams taking to the floor, getting ready to jump for Blackford. It appears is going to be at number 3, Addison Sargent, standing as a sophomore, just 1.4 points per game for her so far this season. And getting ready to jump for Frankton, winning the height battle, is number 34, Macy Curtis, the 6'1" junior forward. Great matchup about to be had here tonight from Frankton High School. Doubleheader basketball as well, so a boys game to follow. Everyone's in position. Officials give it the whistle. Ball is in the air, and it is Eagle basketball as we get things started. Dietzer over on the right side wing will pass the ball off to Key. Up top again to Dietzer to get this first quarter underway. Zeros across the board, 7:49 if you're just tuning in. We are freshly underway from Frankton High School. Emma Key on the right side wing pops a three, is just short off the side iron, able to chase down her own offensive board. To the left wing and firing for three is Sophia Hoagland. Her shot off the mark. And again, it's an offensive board for Emma Key. A jump ball called, and Blackford will be awarded possession after that first offensive try from the Frankton Eagles. 30 seconds into the first quarter, we've got O's across the board.
Early press from the Eagles. It's been very successful for them so far this year. Not stopping here. I love the aggression from Coach Bates early.
Lees takes it across half court for the Bruins and will throw it down to the right post. It looked like that was Addison Sargent that she was looking for. The ball batted out of bounds by the Eagles, so it will remain Bruin basketball. Inbounding is going to be Faith Watkins. Watkins will throw it up to the top of the arc. That is Ridgeway. She'll go down to the left post. Off the rim, no good. Second chance try for Watkins also falls no good. And it's a third offensive board for the Bruins. To the top, just inside the arc, it's Watkins shooting for two. Her shot off the mark, and now taking it the other way is Emma Key. From the right side, Key off the glass, counted and one. What a way to get senior night started for Emma Key. 2 points, the bump, the basket, and that foul will go against the Bruins' number 22, Faith Watkins. That is her first and the team's first in the quarter. Frankton out to an early 2-0 lead.
Good hard basket there from Key. Lowers the shoulder, braces herself, ready for the contact, gets the bucket, and controls herself back to the line. I would like to see the Eagles do a better job on the boards, though. They had a tough look defensively.
Quick steal off the inbound, and there is two more tacked on by Layla Dietzer to make it a 5-0 lead for Frankton. That offense really starting to come alive, and there's some good pressure in the backcourt. The press works out for Frankton. They force the turnover on Blackford, and we'll have the possession arrow back in their favor. Dietzer to bring it up the floor. 6:50 left in quarter number one, and it is a 5-0 lead for the Lady Eagles. Top of the arc, controlling the Rockets, Dietzer. Shaded over to that right side. She'll come back to the left side now to Curtis. Down to the paint. Curtis in the left post will go all the way up top to Dietzer. Nice job to control the hard pass. Over to Key in the right corner. Back to the right elbow. It is Macy Curtis. Curtis over to the left side baseline, and rattling home the two is Sophia Hoagland. It's a 7-0 run to start the first quarter for Frankton. We're just about 2 minutes in. And a quick timeout called by head coach Aaron Murphy of Blackford, as his team is off to a slow start early in the first quarter. Again, tonight's game brought to you by Johnson County Golf Carts. Small town charm meets exceptional service at Johnson County Golf Carts. Whether you're a seasoned golfer, weekend adventurer, or simply looking for a convenient way to navigate town, they have a golf cart that is just right for you. Johnson County Golf Carts is a locally owned family business providing top-notch customer service to everyone who walks through their door. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Find them in downtown Franklin or at JohnsonCountyGolfCarts.com. Man, what a start to this one for the Frankton Eagles, off to a 7-0 lead here in the early goings of the first quarter. Not quite 2 minutes through. And I'll tell you what, putting the exclamation point on the start, and McKee gets the and one, drawing the foul against Faith Watkins. And from there, the defense has really played off and played well for Frankton. And again, it will do so. That is another turnover for Blackford. A correction, it will be, officials say, last touched by Frankton. So inbounding is going to be Watkins for the Bruins. Bringing it across is Ridgeway. Ridgeway to the top of the arc. Over to the right side wing to Lees. Lees back to the top of the key. Getting pressed hard by Dietzer. Driving down to the left side, and Dietzer will reject the shot at the basket. Carly Lees tried to take it herself down to the paint and got into a little bit of a mismatch there with Layla Dietzer.
I'd like to see a little bit more aggression from the Bruins offensively. They just look a little sluggish.
Inbounding is Lees for the Bruins. Out to that left side wing, it's Ridgeway. Ridgeway down to the left corner again, it's Lees, and back up top to Watkins. Watkins shades her way to the right side of the floor, gets down to the right baseline and trying to feed the post, but it's taken away by Emma Key. Key quickly up the floor, dumps it down to the left post. Drawing the jump was Ann Curtis. The ball finally batted out of play. That will remain Frankton basketball. Still a 7-0 lead for the Lady Eagles with 5:38 left in quarter number one. Inbounding is going to be Ann Curtis for Frankton from that left baseline. She gets it over to the right post. Macy Curtis on the receiving end of that pass, but had it batted out of bounds again by the defense of Watkins. So again, the possession arrow will favor Frankton. Off the inbound, right elbow, Macy Curtis fires the jumper. It is no good, and now Blackford will come the other way. It's Lees bringing it up the floor. Lees at the logo, over to the right side wing to Watkins. Watkins being pestered by some great face defense by Ann Curtis, thrown down to the right corner, and Emma Key gets a hand in the way and punches the ball out of bounds. It will remain Bruin basketball. 5:20 left in the first quarter. Frankton out to a 7-0 lead. Off the inbound, it's Sargent at the volleyball line. She dumps it over to the right wing to Lees. Lees trying to feed the paint again to Sargent. A little pick and roll action there early from the Bruins. Ball batted away out of bounds again, this time by Sophia Hoagland. And now Watkins will inbound once more for Blackford. Watkins, a lot of time taken, finally gets it to the top of the key to Ridgeway. Ridgeway to the right side wing, picks up the dribble and not able to keep her foot planted. And that is a traveling violation. The ball will go back to Frankton. Nearly 3 minutes into the first quarter now, and Frankton, a little bit of a slow streak of their own, still out to a 7-0 lead to start the game. But it's been about a minute or so since we've seen a bucket go down.
I think they're just doing their best to try to pace themselves and more looking for ball movement rather than a quick shot.
And a quick shot after a little bit of ball movement. No good from the left post from Macy Curtis. Ball will come the other way with Lees. Over to the right side wing, that's Ridgeway. Controlling the rock for Blackford. And Ridgeway, whipped by Emma Key. Key one-on-one by her lonesome, goes off the left window for two. Break the scoreless streak, Emma Key. She's got 5 of the team's 9 points as Frankton leads 9-0, 4:30 left on the first quarter clock. Backcourt defense again by Frankton, nearly forces the turnover. Carly Lease loses control, but officials say last touched by the defense of both Dietzer and Emma Key. And we're going to have a quick substitution for Blackford on the floor.
Number 1, Lily McCammon coming in, taking off number 2, Faith Watkins.
9-0 the score. Frankton with a commanding lead about halfway through the first quarter here, and that full court press continues. The ball will go out of play, last touch by the Bruins, and again, it's a turnover. Possession arrow favors Frankton. Substitution on the floor now for the Lady Eagles.
Coming in for Frankton, we've got Lainey Haymaker taking out number 34, Macy Curtis.
She comes off the bench averaging just about 4 points a game, but plays a really good role defensively for Frankton. Dietzer on the left side wing for the Eagles, comes to the top of the key. Controlling the rock is Ann Curtis. Skipping around the baseline and now out to the top again as Dietzer goes down to the right post, too strong off the glass. Second chance effort by Ann Curtis will be no good, but she's able to draw the foul on the Bruins. And it goes against Lily McCammon, her first, team second in the quarter. Nearing that halfway mark, it's still a 9-0 lead for Frankton. Shooting 2 at the line is Ann Curtis. Lets the first go, and that is a good free throw to get things started. It's a double-digit lead now, 10-0 for Frankton. Still one more shot to come at the stripe for Ann Curtis. As she lines up and lets the second fly, it's a 2-for-2 trip. Frankton rolling here early with an 11-0 lead over Blackford. Emma Key nearly with another steal, but Lease is going to be able to bring it up the floor for just a moment. Ball goes out of bounds as Key got back in transition defense, poked it away. And there's going to be another substitution for Frankton here.
Coming in now, number 20, Addie Moore working her way into the game, taking out number 32, Layla Dietzer.
So the 5 on the floor right now for Frankton is going to be Moore, Key, Ann Curtis, Lainey Hamaker, and Macy Curtis. Driving on that right baseline is Addison Sargent. She goes back out to the free throw line. That was Ridgway who put up the floater. Her shot no good. Key trying to take it the other way, lost her footing. Back down to the right post. Again, that's Lease. Her shot off the mark. And there's the ball tangled up for a jump ball. And it will be in favor of Frankton. Great job by Sophia Hoagland to get down and corral that basketball. And it will be Frankton possession. 3:43 left in the first quarter. It's an 11-0 lead for the Lady Eagles. Emma Key will work it up the right side of the floor. Key down to the right corner to Hamaker. And now skip pass back down to the right post, but the ball taken away by Blackford. And taken right back again now in transition by Ann Curtis. Curtis will try to take it herself, and that is going to be another foul going against Blackford. Foul credited against Malia Limley. That is her first and the third on the Bruins in this opening quarter. And again, it sends Ann Curtis to the line to shoot a pair. Still an 11-0 lead for Frankton. First shot up and away, and that is the third made free throw for Ann Curtis here this evening. Out to a 12-0 lead for the Lady Eagles. One more shot. Ball up and away, and it's another 2-for-2 trip for Ann Curtis to give Frankton a 13-0 lead over Blackford. Bringing the ball up the floor is Carly Lease, and there's a steal by Emma Key with that backcourt pressure. Ball batted around, and it will finally be Addie Moore who controls. Out to the right corner, Emma Key fires a three. Her shot no good. Another offensive board for Frankton. Getting in on the action again was Lainey Hamaker trying to pull it off the window for the Eagles. Another jump ball called, and the possession arrow will go back to Blackford. 13-0. The Frankton lead with 3:07 left in the first quarter. Lease will take the ball across half court, and the pressure in transition again, this time by Ann Curtis. And it causes the over and back for the Blackford Bruins. Once again, it's Frankton basketball out to a 13-0 lead with just 3 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Once again, tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing. Call Universal at 317-257-0779 or visit universalrfg.com. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will remain Eagle basketball. Inbounding from that left baseline is Moore. Out to the left side wing with Ann Curtis. Off the drive, finds Key. Left corner, pops the three. Just short off the side of the rim. And now Lease will bring the ball up the floor. Passes forwards to McCammon. McCammon across half court. Finds Ridgway. Dropping down to the left post. Nowhere to go. Kicks it back out to Lease. Lease on the drive. Throws up a floater. Ball out of bounds, and it will stay Blackford basketball. 13-0 the lead. Frankton still dominating on both sides of the floor. With 2 minutes and 34 seconds left in quarter number 1.
Colin, I think the biggest issue for the Bruins right now is breaking that full court press. That's exhausting them in all of those resources.
2-point jumper made for Blackford. That was Lily McCammon who put him on the board first, 13-2. In transition to the right wing, the three-pointer is no good for Laney Hamaker. Offensive board for Ann Curtis. Now back to the top with Hoagland. Finds Key. Key fires and rattles home the three. 16-2. Frankton blows the lead even further open with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 1. The backcourt pressure will continue, and there's another timeout called by head coach Aaron Murphy of the Blackford Bruins. 30-second timeout, and again, we will keep it here. 2:02 left in this first quarter, Joey, and it is a 16-2 lead for Frankton, who, quite simply put, has dominated the early goings of this game.
See, but I think that's exactly what comes with the little bit of inexperience that Blackford has. They've got quite a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there on the floor, so I don't know how often they've seen this full court pressure in their careers. So Frankton's a very good ball club. Emma Key's a great leader, and they've got a great supporting staff. They're fantastic defensively, as we've seen so far. So it's going to be tough for this Blackford team to continue to break the press and then get back on the board. Meanwhile, they're chasing a huge deficit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can even see it from our point of view. Not sure how well you can see it on the camera, but the faces of some of these Bruins players already just pretty much the same color of their jerseys, honestly, bright red, and that's all thanks to the hard-nosed defense that Frankton has played since the start of this game, still running a full-court press despite being up by 14 points. We've crossed the 2-minute mark remaining to play in the first quarter. There is nearly another steal for Frankton. It ends up in the hands of Ridgway over on the right wing for Blackford. She'll pass the ball off to Kaylor Hedge, who's freshly checked in, and Kaylor Hedge will draw a foul against Frankton. Looks like that is going to go against number 24, Laney Hamaker. That is her first and the team's first in the quarter. It'll be Kaylor Hedge looking to get Blackford on the board with a couple more points on this free throw try. Hedge will let the first one go, and that one falls just short off the front iron. Still a 16-2 lead for Frankton. 1:46 left in the opening quarter. Second shot on the way for Hedge. Will get the friendly roll and fall. 16-3 the score now. Blackford trying to chip into that lead as much as they can early on in the game. Down to the right corner, that's Laney Hamaker. Double teamed and able to get the ball out to the right post. That was Macy Curtis. Ends up back in the hands of Hamaker on the right side corner for three. Her shot is off the mark. And now trying to push it up the floor is Kaylor Hedge again. And again she draws a foul against Frankton. This time against Layla Dietzer. A double dribble called. I thought for sure there was some body contact that could have drawn the foul on Dietzer. Instead it will remain Frankton basketball. Dietzer has it on the right side wing for the Eagles. 1:22 left in the opening quarter. 16-3. Dietzer from the right side wing. Looking to drive, dumps it down to the left post, high off the glass. The shot is no good for Addie Moore. Offensive board for the Eagles, and again, we're going to have a foul called against Blackford. This one going against Lily McCammon again. That is her second and the team's fourth. Quick substitution for Frankton.
Number 25, Ann Curtis coming back into the ballgame, taking out number 30, Sophia Hoagland.
Inbounding is Addie Moore. Finds Dietzer left corner for three. Shot just off the mark. Loose change corralled offensively for Addie Moore. Her second chance try no good. Ball batted all over the place, and the scrum will result in a jump ball called. And the possession arrow will still favor Frankton. 58 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. 16-3 the lead for the Lady Eagles.
I think the tough thing to think about Blackford right now is they're giving their best. Unfortunately, in this effort, it's just not enough.
And the defense will result in a turnover, giving Blackford a offensive possession as we close down in the final minute of this opening quarter. Bring the ball up the floor is Kayler Hedge. She's got it top of the arc for the Bruins. Moves over to that right side wing. Looks for the pass down low. Nowhere to go. Goes back to the top to Ridgeway. Ball batted away by Macy Curtis. And the ball will go out of bounds and stay with Blackford. They'll have to inbound from right in front of the Frankton bench. 41.3 seconds left on the first quarter clock. 16-3 is the lead for Frankton. On the left side wing, it's Ridgeway. To the top and firing for three, it's Hedge. Her shot no good. Board pulled down by Hammaker. Hammaker ahead. Just inside the right wing, it's Ann Curtis. She will shoot one falling forward off the mark. And now a scrum forward underneath the basket, and there will be a foul called against the Eagles. And the officials will charge it against Ann Curtis. That is her first and the team's second in the quarter. 20.7 seconds left in quarter number one. 16-3 the lead for Frankton over Blackford. Ridgeway, left side wing, does not fall for the student section countdown. Loose ball batted around, ends up in the hands of the Bruins once again. That was Malia Limley who went up for the floater. And her shot is blocked, but she draws the foul. Foul is on Addie Moore, her first and the team's third for Frankton. Shooting a pair is going to be Malia Limley. Trying to cut into this big Frankton lead even more. She misses her first shot at the line, so it stays a 16-3 lead for Frankton. One more shot for Malia Limley, representing the Bruins. She lets the second go, and that is an 0 for 2 trip. Board pulled in by Ann Curtis. Fed ahead to Dietzer on the right side wing. Dumps it down right corner to Hammaker. And at the buzzer, the last chance shot by Layla Dietzer will be no good, and we head to the second quarter with the Eagles out to a 16-3 lead over the Blackford Bruins. Stick around. In just a minute, we'll be back for the start of the second quarter on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
At the start of the second quarter, Frankton leads Blackford 16-3 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. It is Bruin basketball to get this second quarter underway. And bringing it up the floor is Kayler Hedge. Over to the right side wing now with McCammon. Back to the top of the key. Ball batted around and ends up back in the hands of the Bruins. Firing from the left side wing for three. That was Hedge. Her shot no good, and it's going to be Ann Curtis to push it up the floor. Curtis going coast to coast, denied at the rack by Malia Limley, but officials say she got more than just the basketball. Limley picks up her second foul, first on the Bruins in the second quarter, just 20 seconds in, and now Ann Curtis will go to the charity stripe to shoot a pair.
Ann Curtis going to take her fifth and sixth free throw attempts of the ball game. She's 4 for 4 so far. Oh my goodness.
And look what Joey did. He ruins the perfect streak.
You got to be kidding me, man.
Score will stay at 16-3. One more shot for Ann Curtis at the stripe. She lets this one fly, and it is a 1 for 2 trip. 17-3, the lead now for Frankton. Bringing the ball up the court is Carly Lease. Lease across half court, pickpocketed by Dietzer. Dietzer one-on-one against Lease, lost control of the basketball. Ball picked up by Blackford. And there's a travel called, as it looked like That was Lily McCammon who got to the bottom of the pile and rolled over with the basketball, trying to keep it away. Substitution on the floor for the Bruins.
Number 22, Faith Watkins coming into the ball game, taking out, I believe, number 4. No, I'm sorry. Taking out number 10, Malia Limley.
Let's go to the sideline now with Lily Herrera, who was behind the Blackford bench during that last timeout as Macy Curtis scores a pair.
Thanks, Colin. For the Bruins, they realized that every time they settled into themselves on defense, they only allowed the Eagles to score very minimally. With that, coach just wants to see more drive from them.
Good ball movement that unfortunately results in no basket for the Bruins. In transition, left post, too strong off the glass was Ann Curtis. And the ball is pulled down again by Blackford. 19-3, the lead now for Frankton with 6 minutes and 53 seconds left before halftime. Top of the arc, it's Hedge. Over to the right side wing, it's McCammon. McCammon trying to find her way back to the top of the arc. Nowhere to go, dumps it down to that right corner again to Hedge, and she'll move up towards the volleyball line. Hedge off the drive, feeds it down into the post. Little skip pass taken away by Emma Key. Key streaks up the floor. One-on-one, goes behind the back and pulls up on the drive. Loses possession. Sargent with the steal, and headed the other way in transition. It's taken right back by the Eagles. Ahead to Dietzer, ball bouncing all over the floor.
Goodness.
And it finally settles down in possession of the Blackford Bruins. That's Hedge who brings it across half court. Little sloppy stint there from both sides.
No kidding, Colin.
Over the right side, it's Hedge. Hedge driving in, had the ball poked away by Dietzer, and the ball will go out of play. Touching it last was Kaylor Hedge, and it will be Frankton basketball. And a timeout is called on the court by head coach Jeff Bates of Frankton. I think trying to settle his team in a little bit after that rough stint that we saw from both sides. Once again, tonight's game is brought to you by Peterman Heating and Cooling. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. Johnson County Golf Carts, another one of our sponsors tonight as well. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. 6:01 left before halftime. Frankton out to a commanding 19-3 lead, but still not quite the perfect game you would like to see from the Lady Eagles thus far.
I mean, it's not a perfect game for either team. I mean, the scoreboard says so, and it just depends on how you look at it, that there's still plenty of ball game left in this one. We got 6 minutes left in the second quarter here, and we still have an entire second half to play. Just depends on how you look at it, if that's good or bad.
It is the original starting five on the floor for Frankton. That's Emma Key, Ann Curtis, Sophia Hoagland, Layla Dietzer, and Macy Curtis. Out from just inside the left corner for two. That was Hoagland who put up the shot. Hers falls incomplete, and we will see Blackford bring the ball up the floor. Bringing it up is Kaylor Hedge. Across half court. Hedge shades over to her right side, gets the screen, and now drives down to the right baseline. Double team down low, and a double dribble is called against Kaylor Hedge that gives the ball right back to Frankton. 5:30 left in the second quarter, 19-3 the lead for the Eagles. It'll be Layla Dietzer to bring the ball up the floor again. Dietzer shaded that right side, comes back to the left side wing to Ann Curtis. Now down to the left elbow. Turning around with the jumper, Macy Curtis. Her shot no good, but the putback by Emma Key will go through. 21-3. Frankton starting to try to break their lead back open and ends the scoreless streak after the last few trips down the floor. Down to 5 minutes remaining before halftime. Driving baseline and drawing the foul. That was Addison Sargent. She pins one on Emma Key. That'll be her first. And the first against Frankton in the quarter. Substitution on the floor coming in for Blackford.
Coming in for the Bruins, we've got number 24, Reagan Ridgway, taking out number 1, Lily McCammon.
Inbounding is going to be Faith Watkins for the Bruins. Has plenty of time, and it is stripped away by Layla Dietzer off the inbound. Dietzer up the floor, does not have the numbers, slows down her drive, but great pestering defense by Kaylor Hedge. And it will result in a foul against Frankton. Layla Dietzer will pick up her first, and here's a couple of subs coming in for the Lady Eagles.
Coming into the ballgame, number 20, Addie Moore, Also working her way back into the ballgame, number 24, Lainey Haymaker, taking out number 32, Layla Dietzer, and number 34, Macy Curtis.
Some good defense going up the floor by Kaylor Hedge, who's kind of been all over the court tonight on both ends. And she's going to be called for a travel. She tried to plant the foot, picked up her pivot foot as well. I'll tell you what, Blackford being down by 18 here early, or about halfway through the second quarter, I should say, is still doing a great job of hanging in there and playing with a whole lot of effort on the floor.
Yeah, Colin, I will definitely give them that. I don't feel that the score perfectly reflects the way that the Blackford has played. They've showed good moments, but they've also shown very bad moments.
And Emma Key finds her way to another 2-point basket straight ahead. That's 23-3, the lead now for Frankton. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Right side wing, that's Hedge. Picks up the dribble and is double teamed down low, able to get it back towards the top of the key to Ridgway. Ridgway comes over to the left side wing and passes off to Lease. Lease pump fakes a three, now drives. Back to the top to Hedge. She'll fire a three. Too strong off the heel of the cup. And bringing it up the other way is Ann Curtis and the Lady Eagles. To the left corner, that's Moore. And we're going to have a foul called, I believe, against Blackford. And it looks like the ball instead called to be out of bounds. And McKee gets the ball in the backcourt for Frankton. Starts out top of the key, drops it down to the charity stripe, now over the right baseline, shooting the two. That is too strong. That was Lainey Hammaker, and the ball will go out of play. Last touch by the Eagles. It'll be Bruin basketball. 3:43 left in the second quarter, 23-3 the lead for Frankton. Still a long ball game left to be played, and Blackford yet to score in this second quarter.
Yet to score, and I think that's entirely due to the lack of offensive production, clearly. However, I would like to see Blackford get into a little bit of running their plays instead of just kind of free-willing it out there and just seeing what's open.
On the right side wing, that's Hedge. Loose ball, batted out of bounds, and it will stay with the Bruins on their end of the floor. 3 minutes and 23 seconds now left before halftime. Still a 23-3 lead for Frankton. Inbounding is going to be Faith Watkins. She will find Lease at the top of the arc for the Bruins. Lease kind of shaded over to that right side of the floor. Will hand the ball off to Hedge coming up from the baseline. Hedge trying to find a way past the defense of Addie Moore. Dumps it down to the right baseline to Ridgway. She passes the ball off to Watkins. Puts up a jumper. Shot, no good. Board pulled down by Frankton. That was Sophia Hoagland who reeled in the board. Finds Key top of the arc. Key off the drive. Goes down to the right side post and has the ball batted out of bounds. It will stay with Frankton. The officials say it was last touch by the Bruins. 23-3 still the lead for the Eagles. 2:53 left in the second quarter. Key has it from just inside the right wing. Fires a long two that is no good. Board is pulled down again by Frankton. Putting up the floater from the left side baseline. That's Ann Curtis. Her shot no good. And now bringing the ball up the floor the other way is going to be Kaylor Hedge. Down to 2:35 left in the second quarter. 23-3 the lead for Frankton. And there is a defensive foul going against the Lady Eagles. That's Addie Moore with her second. And the third on Frankton in the quarter. One away from putting the Bruins in the bonus for the next 2.5 minutes. Inbounding is Watkins for Blackford. She gets the ball in to Hedge. She throws up a runner wide off the glass. Ball batted around, and finally it's Emma Key who comes away with a loose change. Feeds ahead to Ann Curtis, and you can count it, and one. Ann Curtis from the left post makes it 25-3 and draws the foul against Faith Watkins. Her second, team second in the quarter. And it'll be Ann Curtis at the stripe to try and complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Shot is up and away for Ann Curtis, and she will get the friendly hop to make it 26-3. Here's a sub for the Bruins on the other end of the floor.
Number 34, Gracie Townsend-Stratt coming into the ballgame, taking out number 22, Faith Watkins.
Townsend-Stratt seeing her first minutes of the evening. Hedge has it on the right side wing for Blackford. Down to the 2-minute mark, and there is a fast break opportunity coming up for Hammaker. From the left post, she's fouled on the run. Bucket will not fall, and instead she'll go to the line for a pair. The officials will pin the foul on Carly Lease. That is her first and the team's third in the quarter for the Bruins. Shooting 2 at the line is going to be Laney Hammaker. She lets the first go, and that is no good off to the right side of the basket. 26-3 remains the score. One more shot coming up for Laney Hammaker. Lets the second one fly. And it is a 1-for-2 trip to make it a 27-3 lead for Frankton. 2 minutes to go before halftime. Hedge at the top of the arc for Blackford. Over the right side wing, Lease. Lease comes around the arc to the left side wing and passes the ball off to Ridgway. Ridgway back towards the top of the arc. Goes down to the left post. Ball batted away by Emma Key. So it will remain Blackford basketball with 1:47 left in the second quarter. Eagles with a big lead over the Bruins, 27-3. Inbounding is Ridgway. She finds Hedge at the top of the arc. Ridgway off the drive, and Hedge has her pass batted away, able to be controlled again by Sargent. Gives it back off to Hedge, and there is going to be a foul called against Frankton. Looks like that is going to go on Laney Hammaker. That is her second and the team's fourth. So with 1:39 left in the second quarter, Blackford will have the bonus up until the halftime break. Taylor Hedge at the line shooting 2, misses her first free throw wide right. She's got one more try at the stripe on this trip, trying to chip away at the 24-point lead that Frankton has built over the 2 quarters, and she will put the Bruins on the board for the first time in the second quarter. Just about 90 seconds to play now as Emma Key brings the ball up the floor. Over to the right side wing, Hammaker fires a 3. Her shot off the mark. It's Sargent who reels in the board. Sargent being triple teamed in the backcourt. Draws a foul against Frankton, and she will go to the line for a pair. That foul goes against Emma Key, her second, and the 5th on Frankton in the quarter. 1:26 left before the halftime break. Eagles with a big 27-4 lead. But this is the second pair of free throws that Blackford will be shooting in 2 possessions. This time it's going to be Addison Sargent shooting the pair at the line. And she will knock down the first. 27-5. Blackford taking it 1 point at a time here against Frankton as they near halftime.
Collins, don't get me wrong, I'm all for the aggression. I'm all for going for the ball, but I'd like to see the Eagles kind of slow up on the aggressiveness. Can't be wasting these fouls. They've got 8 fouls throughout the first half so far. Can't be silly with the fouls.
1-for-2 trip. Ball ends up in the hands of Key on the right side wing, and it's skipped down to the left post. Now back out to Ann Curtis, left wing for 3. Her shot off the mark. Ball pulled down by Reagan Ridgway. Ridgway will feed the ball up the floor to Carly Lease over on the right side. She's driving down to the baseline. Loses the dribble. Back out to Ridgway, right wing for 3. Her shot off the mark. Tip back opportunity, no good for Townsend Straight. Ends up back in the hands of Carly Lease, and Carly Lease is called for the double dribble. 27-5. Frankton with a big lead. Less than a minute to go in the second quarter, and it'll be Emma Key to walk it up the floor for the Eagles. Key on the right side wing, goes left side wing to Ann Curtis. Now back to the right side wing with Key. To Curtis again on the left side wing, and those two playing catch at the top of the arc to try and chew it away and make it one-shot basketball before halftime for Frankton. Key at the top of the arc is going to be fouled, and that is Kaylor Hedge who made the body contact. That is the 4th foul against Blackford in the second quarter. And
number 1, Lily McCammon coming into the ballgame, taking on number 4, Kaylor Hedge.
No bonus free throws yet for Frankton. Off the inbound in the left corner, that was Addie Moore. She'll get the ball back to the top of the arc to Emma Key. 30 seconds left before halftime. A 27-5 lead for the Eagles. Moore in the left corner. Dumps it down to the post. Ball goes out of play. Last touch by the Eagles. And that again is another miscue on the offensive trip down the floor for Frankton that results in a turnover. 27-5. Frankton with the lead. They were looking to chip away at the remaining time on the clock to try and get one more shot off before halftime. Instead, Blackford will end up with the rock. It's Ridgway on the left side wing. Moving her way back towards the top of the arc. Will pick up the dribble, is double teamed up top, and the ball is wrapped up defensively by Ann Curtis for a jump ball. And Frankton will get their wish of one more shot before halftime. 8.3 seconds left on the second quarter clock. Frankton with a 27-5 lead over Blackford. Emma Key will bring the ball up the floor. Quickly over to the left side wing, comes back to the right side to Ann Curtis. Now down to the post, turning around, that's Sophia Hoagland off the glass at the buzzer. It falls for Addie Moore. 29-5. Frankton, a big-time lead as they get ready to head to the half. Over to the sideline with Lily Herrera and head coach Jeff Bates.
Thanks, Colin. Deep, stoppable in the first half. What was the idea of out the Bruins?
Well, we wanted to not back off. We wanted to try to take it at them. We still have some things we got to take care of. We still turned the ball over a little bit too many times, but I like the aggressiveness.
With a significant lead going in the half, still a 0-0 ball game. Anything can happen.
Well, we're not done. We have to get ready for sectional, and so that's the focus right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Good words there from head coach Jeff Bates of the Frankton Eagles, and keeping the mindset that it's still a 0-0 ball game. You're working towards that sectional battle coming up here in just a few weeks on the girls' side of things in IHSAA basketball. And Frankton doing their job, but still a little left on the table for the Eagles after that first half. 29-5, Frankton leading Blackford as we head to the halftime break. Take a couple minutes and come back with some halftime analysis following these commercials. You are listening to Frankton and Blackford. It's girls basketball on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
At the halftime break, Frankton leads Blackford 29-5 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. It's a Central Indiana Conference matchup for these two teams. Colin Eccles, Joey Paternostro bringing you the call. Lily Herrera is our sideline reporter who got a couple great conversations in there during the first half with Coach Bates of the Frankton Eagles, and of course our cameraman tonight as well is Michael Plessick. One heck of a crew we have up here in the Muncie area, and it's good to have everybody finally back and ready to go. 29-5 the lead right now for Frankton. Just about 5 minutes left at halftime as these two schools get ready to come back out on the floor and duke it out for one more half. But, Joey, we were kind of breaking down some of the play from that first half for the Blackford Bruins, who, as you can see by that score, struggled immensely against Frankton on all facets of the ball. But you were saying something specifically about how this offense is run for the Bruins and a little miscue that the guards have kind of done on a repeated basis.
Yeah, something that I seem to see just about every, if not every play, it's every other play where the guard takes it down the floor and she dribbles into one of the corners. It's usually this bottom left corner for us. For you guys, it'd be that top left corner. Dribbles down into the corner and gets trapped. The Eagles run a great trap defense, as we saw in those first 6 minutes of that first quarter, where they run a full court press and a full court trap defense. So I think that the Eagles took away the press for the Bruins, so that was a win in the Bruins book, so that makes them have a little bit more stamina. But I think if they want to have any chance at coming back in this ball game, it starts with sticking to their plays and playing their game.
Yeah, it's really been a dominant feat on all assets right now for Frankton. I mean, you saw it early, the full court press causing a couple of early turnovers that led to some points going on the board. And then on the other end of the floor, once Blackford is able to get it across half court, Frankton's doing a great job, whether, it's getting that direct kind of on the ball steal or it's getting in the passing lane and batting the ball either out of bounds to disrupt some sort of offensive flow or coming away with a steal. I mean, it's been all good on the defensive side so far for Frankton, but like Coach Bates said at that halftime interview with Lily, there's still a lot left on the table for this Frankton team. They didn't play the best game offensively in the first half. Plenty of opportunities where they could have, 10, 15 more points on the board right now, but the shots necessarily haven't been falling their way every single time, and they've also had a couple of possessions up and down the floor offensively where it seems like they're rushing themselves a little bit just to try and widen the lead as much as they can, as early as they can. It's not necessarily the best game plan to roll with every night.
Yeah, Colin, you're saying it a little bit more nicer than I would. I would say it a little bit more bluntly and say they're playing down to the level of the Bruins, and I think that Frankton, oh my goodness. I think that Frankton, like you said, could be up a little bit bigger than the lead they already have. But I think if you're Frankton, I think it comes down to going back to the basics, do the simple things, do the fundamental things well. We don't need explosive plays. We don't need flashy plays. Do the basic things well. Stick to your game plan that Coach Bates has drawn up, because I know that he has drawn up a great game plan. Stick to that. Run the plays. Look for ball movement. They did a fantastic job in the first 5 minutes where they looked for the next pass.
29-5, the lead for Frankton at halftime. We'll step aside for a couple more underwritings, and then we'll get this second half underway. That's what's coming up momentarily. It's Frankton and Blackford. Girls basketball with boys to follow on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Getting ready to start the third quarter. Frankton leading Blackford 29-5 over the sideline with Lily Herrera and head coach Aaron Murphy of Blackford.
Thanks, Colin. Coach, the Eagles laid that full court pressure on thick in the first half. How do you plan to work second?
Well, I hope they're not going to come out and pressure again. I think they did their job in the first half. They're long and they're athletic. We knew it was going to be a tough task, so hopefully the pressure's off by now.
With some unfavorable calls, how do you feeling defeated?
Well, Malia Limley is a heck of a shot blocker, and I talked to the refs on her 2 fouls. They were both clean blocks. She owns that space and she goes straight up. They both admitted that that's the right call, that she did own that space. So just keep telling them to do what they're doing. They're working hard defensively, and that's all we can ask for.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good words there from head coach Aaron Murphy of Blackford, keeping the spirits high is the game plan, and asking all that he does of his girls. He said they're giving their 110%, so it should be a solid second half for this Bruin team. A little bit of rest, maybe not as much pressure applied by Frankton. And we are about to get this 8 minutes of the third quarter started with Frankton leading 29-5 over Blackford. Before we do get the third quarter underway, don't forget tonight's game built by Universal Roofing. Call Universal 317-257-0779 or visit universalrfg.com. Tonight's game is driven to you by Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. You can experience the Greg Hubler promise at greghublerauto.com. The Mower Shop in Fishers, mowers, snow throwers, parts, and more, all found at themowershop.com. And, of course, Peterman Heating and Cooling. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. And JC Golf Carts. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Find them in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. It is the original starting 5 back out on the floor for both teams. That is going to be Emma Key and Curtis, Sophia Hoagland, Layla Dietzer, and Macy Curtis for Frankton. And for Blackford, it's Carly Lease, Addison Sargent, Malia Limley, Faith Watkins, and Reagan Ridgway. Getting things started, it's Bruin basketball. Ridgman will fire a 3 from the right corner. Her shot no good. And a quick tie-up for a jump ball. Again, that's Ann Curtis getting in there to ring it up with Reagan Ridgway. And that will give the ball back to Frankton. Just about 12 seconds into the third, 29-5, the lead for the Eagles.
Both teams coming out explosive, ready to get back into the play. The Eagles looking to extend their lead. Meanwhile, the Bruins looking to chip away.
Great feed out to Curtis on the left wing for 3. Her shot short. Offensive board for Emma Key, and there's a quick foul applied by the Bruins. It will be charged to Reagan Ridgway. That is her first, and the team's first of the third quarter. Inbounding is going to be Ann Curtis for the Lady Eagles. She will find Dietzer on the left baseline. Out to the charity stripe, in possession, that was Hoagland. And back down to the baseline again, it's Macy Curtis. Ball corralled, back to the top to Dietzer. Now left side wing, Ann Curtis. She drives, puts up the runner. Shot no good. Emma Key, offensive board. Her second chance effort no good. Third board, steps through traffic and scores off the right window. 31-5. Frankton with a commanding lead, and it grows with 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
Colin, that's the ball movement that I've been talking about. There was a couple of wide open opportunities that both Ann Curtis and Sophia Hoagland had. They both passed it up to look for the open pass.
A foul pinned on Layla Dietzer, her second. Frankton's first in the quarter. Off the inbound, it's another three-point attempt from the right corner coming from Reagan Ridgway that falls no good. Bringing it the other way is Sophia Hoagland. She starts out on the right wing, fires it all the way across the court to Dietzer. Now left side wing, it's Curtis. Curtis had her pass batted away, able to pick it back up on her own, and she pins a quick foul on Faith Watkins of Blackford. That's the third on Watkins and the second on the Bruins in the quarter. 31-5. A 26-point lead for Frankton. And Curtis off the inbound finds Macy Curtis just inside the right elbow, and the two-point jumper will fall. 33-5. The Eagles extending their lead to 28 with 6 minutes and 37 seconds left in the third. Carly Lease over on the right side wing, whipped by Layla Dietzer. Loose ball on the floor, batted around, and it is Watkins who comes away with it. Out to the right corner, Ridgway. Pump fakes the three and now drives back towards the top of the arc. Passes left side wing to Lease. Lease pestered by Dietzer again, and there's another double dribble. And Carly Lease a little bit frustrated there on the floor as that is another turnover for Blackford. Frankton will regain control. Substitution on the floor for the Bruins.
Number 1, Lily McCammon coming in, taking out number 22, Faith Watkins.
Layla Dietzer will bring the ball up the floor and find Emma Key over on that right wing. Key trying to create some space, and she is forced to step out of bounds. That's another quick turnover for Frankton. 6:10 left in the third quarter, and the Bruins still applying that defensive pressure against Frankton that now appearing to have a little bit of frustration for Emma Key.
The Bruins playing good ball so far in the second half. I think the game plan is to not drive because in the first half that didn't work. They're driving in and they're getting trapped. So the plan here is to kick it out to the outside and get the shot. The shots just aren't falling.
The defense from Emma Key comes up with another turnover for Blackford. Missed opportunity by Ann Curtis in the left post. She gets her offensive board, steps through right post. That shot no good. And the ball will move the other way with Lily McCammon. McCammon in the backcourt has the ball poked out of her hand by Ann Curtis. Still trapped in that backcourt. Finally able to get it across the timeline for good. Ball batted down again, and again it's McCammon who comes up with it. McCammon to the left wing. That's Carly Lease. Lease is fouled. And I believe that's going to be Ann Curtis who has the foul charged against her. That is her second. And here's a quick sub for Frankton on the floor.
Number 20, Addie Moore coming in, taking out number 25, Ann Curtis.
33-5 is the lead for Frankton over Blackford. A pair of 2A schools and Central Indiana Conference rivals as well as we near the 5-minute mark left in the third quarter. Right side wing, it's Ridgway. Back to the top. Faking the drive, that's Lease. She moves back over to that right side wing. Looking for something, dumps it down to the right corner to McCammon. Back to Lease on the backdoor cut, and there's some good ball movement by Blackford.
There it is.
Showing a little bit of spark, 33-7. Blackford on the board for the first time in the second half. 4:50 left in the third quarter. Three-point bucket from the left corner, up and good for Sophia Hoagland. A quick answer to make it a 29-point lead for Frankton. 36-7 with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third quarter.
That's a tough pill to swallow for Blackford. You finally get some good ball movement resulting in a basket just to go down and give up the three.
Ridgway on the right side wing for the Bruins. Moves her way back towards the charity stripe and passes back out to the volleyball line. That's Addison Sargent. Over to Ridgway again, this time on the left wing. Ridgway moves her way back to the top of the arc and will hand the ball off to McCammon. McCammon picks up the dribble. Trapped out on the right wing, tried to pass back off to Ridgway, and Ridgway lost control of the rock, gets out of bounds, and it will be Frankton basketball again. A pair of subs coming in for the Eagles to give some starters a rest.
Number 24, Lainey Haymaker, and number 14, Layla Farrell coming in. Taking out number 34, Macy Curtis, and number 32, Layla Dietzer.
Layla Farrell comes in and instantly to the charity stripe. That's Sophia Hoagland turning around with the 2-point ball. It is no good. Sophia Hoagland comes up with a steal, and the steal is going back the other way instantly with McCammon. And there's a quick foul, this time on the freshly checked in Layla Farrell. That is her first. And it is a 36-7 lead still. Layla Farrell picks up her first foul of the evening. Top of the arc, that's Lily McCammon. Over the right side wing, it's Ridgway. Ridgway jab steps and now drives in with the left, puts up the floater. It is short between the glass and the rim. The ball will go out of bounds, and a great effort by Malia Limley to throw the ball back off the leg of one of the three Frankton defenders that had her surrounded in the corner. It stays Bruin basketball with 3:37 left in the third quarter. 36-7 the lead for Frankton. And there's a steal for Emma Key. Key working her way up the floor. She does have the numbers. Feeds the ball ahead to Lainey Haymaker. She's not able to handle the pass cleanly. Backs out to the right corner. Fires for three. Her shot no good. Rattled hard off the iron, and now it's going to be brought the other way by Reagan Ridgway. Ridgway trapped at the volleyball line, passes left side wing to McCammon. McCammon working towards the post, and that ball batted away. This time it's Hoagland. One-on-one, goes off the glass, and her shot is no good. Ridgway able to pull down the rebound, and there is a no foul called. It will be called out of bounds, and last touch by Frankton, so it'll be Bruin basketball. Substitution on the floor for Blackford.
Gracie Townsend, straight number 34, coming in, taking out number 24, Reagan Ridgway.
Reagan Ridgway huffing and puffing as she makes her way over to the bench. I mean, she has been working hard in this third quarter for Blackford.
5 hard rebounds so far for her.
Down in the right post, that's Sargent. Kicks it out to Straight in the right corner. It's back out towards the right wing again with Sargent. Ball goes out of play and will stay with the Bruins on their end of the floor. 2:46 left in the third quarter, a 29-point lead for Frankton, 36-7. Inbounding is Townsend Straight. She finds McCammon on the right side wing and works further down that right side wing again to Straight. Back up top to Lease. Lease trying to find a way into the lane, nowhere to go. Kicks it back to the top to McCammon, and McCammon is going to be fouled. She will go to the free throw line for 2. The foul goes against Emma Key. That is her third, and the third on the team for Frankton. 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And a correction, that's the fourth on the team for Frankton in the third. So 2 minutes, 33 seconds left, and Blackford has the bonus for the rest of the quarter. First free throw, no good at the line for Lily McCammon. Keeps the score at 36-7. A couple of substitutions coming in this time for Frankton.
Number 25, Ann Curtis, and number 32, Layla Dietzer coming back into the ballgame, subbing out number 22, Emma Key, and number 30, Sophia Hoagland.
One more shot at the stripe coming up for Lily McCammon, who missed that first one to keep it a 29-point deficit for Blackford. As the pair that were subbed out for Frankton hit the bench, the second chance opportunity will be no good for Lily McCammon. Keeps it at a 36-7 score. Up the floor over on that left side wing, it is Addie Moore. She drops it down even lower to Lainey Hammaker. Back to the top of the key to Dietzer. Dietzer, left corner to Hammaker. Pump fakes the 3 and moves her way back towards the top of the arc. Over to Dietzer again, right side wing. Now down to Farrell in the right corner. Farrell double teamed. Throws it down into the paint, going off the glass for 2. That was Lainey Hammaker. Her shot no good. She pulls down the offensive board. Out to Ann Curtis. Her 2-point jumper no good from just outside the left post. A loose ball is corralled again. This time it's Dietzer who settles things down for Frankton. Back down to the left post. Ann Curtis off the square. And that's 2 more. A 31-point lead for Frankton. 38-7 over Blackford.
Ann Curtis with 10 points now, along with 5 rebounds and a steal.
Again, tonight's game brought to you by Peterman Heating and Cooling. You can call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. Right corner for the Bruins, that's McCammon. Ball batted out of bounds by the defense of Layla Farrell, who got her hand in the passing lane. Looked like McCammon was looking for Lease moving over to that right wing. And it will stay Blackford basketball with 1:27 left in the third. 38-7 is the lead, and we've got a quick foul applied again by Layla Farrell. That is her second, and the 5th on Frankton, so it'll be 2 free throws coming up for Carly Lease. And with a 31-point deficit that appearingly continues to grow for Frankton, these free throws ever so valuable to the Bruins. First one up and away is no good for Carly Lease. Keeps it at 38-7. Less than 90 seconds to go before we start the fourth quarter. And again, this game brought to you by Johnson County Golf Carts, where small town charm meets exceptional service. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Johnson County Golf Carts in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. On the left wing going up for 2 is Lainey Hammaker, and she will score. 40-7 the lead now for Frankton, and we are within the final minute to play in the third quarter. Carly Lease will take it the other way, throws up a prayer, and it's a rebound pulled down by Addie Moore. One-on-one, goes high off the window. Her first shot no good. Loose ball saved from going out of bounds, and it's going to head the other way with the Bruins. On the right side, trapped is Lease. She'll dump it down to Straight. Back to the top to McCammon. Left side corner, now working her way towards the top is Sargent. Goes to the charity stripe, throws off a hook shot from the free throw line that falls well off the mark. And now it'll be Ann Curtis to cross half court and shade to the right for Frankton. Over to Farrell. 30 seconds left in the third. 40-7 the lead for Frankton. Left corner, it's Dietzer. Drives baseline, passes over to the right post to Ann Curtis, who draws the foul. And Ann Curtis will be going to the line to shoot a pair. Foul goes against Gracie Townsend Straight. Her first, team's third for Blackford in the quarter. Ann Curtis shooting a pair at the line for the Eagles with 20.4 seconds left in the third quarter. First bucket up for Curtis is good. 41-7 the lead now for the Frankton Eagles. One more coming up for Ann Curtis. Bends the knees and lets it fly. Ann Curtis short off the rim. Offensive board for the Eagles. That was Addie Moore who put up the second chance try. And Layla Farrell, will get the third chance try for Frankton to fall. 43-7 the lead now for the Eagles. Left corner, it's Limley, and Limley's going to draw the foul. On the floor, that's against Lainey Hammaker, her third. And that is going to send now Malia Limley to the floor, or to the free throw line to shoot two for Blackford. 43-7 is the deficit right now for the Bruins. First free throw up for Limley is no good. 43-7 will stay the score. 15.3 seconds left before the start of the fourth quarter. And don't forget, we do have boys basketball following the conclusion of this first matchup. The Frankton Eagles at 4-7 will take on the 8-5 Blackford Bruins. And a 1-for-2 trip will make it 43-8. Frankton still with a big lead. Left side wing, popping the three, and knocking it down is Addie Moore. 46-8 as we head to the fourth quarter. Frankton with a big-time lead over Blackford. It's Central Indiana Conference basketball. Frankton and Blackford. We head to the fourth quarter on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Start of the fourth quarter. It's a big lead for the Frankton Eagles over the Blackford Bruins, 46-8 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Let's go down to the sideline with the wonderful Lily Herrera.
Thanks, Colin. Coach Bates simply just wants the girls to keep playing hard and stay in control of the ball and the court. Back to you.
Good way to put it. Stay in control of the ball and set the tone as we get this fourth quarter started. It will be Blackford basketball. 46-8 the lead right now for Frankton. Top of the key, that's Ridgeway for the Bruins. Goes down to the right post. That was Addison Sargent. Whistles blow, ball is out of play, and it will stay with Blackford on their end of the floor. Joey, we've seen really the ups and downs all over the place of this game so far tonight, and Frankton obviously going to come out victorious. But as you head down to the final couple of games of the regular season and you start to prepare for what is going to be a very tough sectional matchup for Frankton, no matter how you draw it out, you got great teams in there, a top-ranked, or top 10 ranked, I should say, Sheridan team who's 17-1. You've also got LaPel 13-8, Elwood who's 11-7. That's a really, really tough sectional for this Frankton team to have to play in. And it will remain the Eagle possession. And a running clock is also instated, I should say, for the remaining Now 6 minutes and 55 seconds of this contest here tonight. But Frankton left a lot on the table, especially in that first half, as you heard from Coach Jeff Bates. And as you work towards that sectional schedule, that's really where it matters at the end of the day in high school basketball in the state of Indiana. Everybody makes it to the postseason, and when you're fighting for that one-and-done chance to try and work your way towards a state title, it's when it really starts to matter. There definitely some things to clean up that we saw from the Eagles tonight.
Certainly some things to clean up. I mean, the sectional draw is going to be sometime here soon, so I think if you're Frankton, the only thing that you can prepare for is to prepare for the worst. Prepare to play the 17-1 Sheridan, or prepare to play the 13-8 Lapel, just in case, because it's a very there's 6 teams in the sectional, so you got 5 teams you could possibly play, and I think if you're Frankton, I think you know that you can compete with just about any one of them. So I think at this point, like we talked about at halftime, it's moving back to the basics. Do the fundamentals well.
Yeah, a lot of teams are preparing to play that Sheridan Blackhawk team, who has just 1 loss on their schedule so far. 17-1 overall. Really dominant team just from the north side of Indianapolis. 46-10, the lead for Frankton, as Emma Key will sit down for probably the final time this evening.
Number 34, Macy Curtis, also coming into the ball game, and for Emma Key, Layla Farrell coming in and finding some time.
5 minutes and 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Off the inbound, driving from the left side, that's Addie Moore. Tried to pass it to the right post to Layla Farrell. Jump ball is called, and it will be Bruin basketball. 5:10 and counting left here in the fourth quarter. 46-10, the big-time lead for the Frankton Eagles. Once again, tonight's game is driven to you by Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. Experience the Greg Hubler promise at GregHublerAuto.com. 2-point bucket made, 3-point bucket made from the left side for Frankton. 48-10, the lead now for the Eagles, and a 3-point bucket made on the other end, this time for Reagan Ridgway. 48-13, still a big lead for Frankton. Dietzer, top of the arc, will drive in left side, tried to pass it down to that left post to Addie Moore. Ball stays in possession of Frankton. That is Macy Curtis in the lane trying to find some space. Able to get it back out to Farrell. Just inside the top of the arc, fires a deep 2. Her shot no good. Offensive board for Addie Moore, and she is going to draw the foul and head to the free throw line for a pair.
That was a great job by Macy Curtis. She was triple teamed deep down in the paint. She stayed patient. She kept her eyes up. She found Moore, and she found the bucket. It's a great job by Curtis to stay patient.
First shot on the way for Addie Moore is up and away and no good. 4:09 left in the fourth quarter. 48-13 stays the score. Substitution again for Frankton.
The freshman, number 52, Dorothy Forrester, working her way into the ball game, taking out number 30, Sophia Hoagland.
Yeah, so some of these younger players for Frankton will get a good opportunity to get some minutes late in the season. And that's a good thing that Coach Bates does, is he really tries to work them in kind of the earliest that he can when it makes sense to in the game. Deep 2 made for Ridgway on the other end of the floor. Makes it a 49-15 score. Obviously, Frankton still with a commanding lead. Down in the left corner, that is the freshly checked in Forrester. She'll go back to the top to Dietzer. Now right side wing Farrell. Back up top again to Dietzer. Dietzer over to that left side. Pulling to 3 is Addie Moore. Her shot off the mark. Offensive board was originally pulled down by Dorothy Forrester, but the ball goes out of play, and the possession arrow will favor Blackford. Couple of subs coming in again this time for Frankton.
Number 24, Lainey Haymaker, coming into the ball game, as well as number 40, the freshman forward, Gabby Reed.
49-15 as we tick down to 3 minutes remaining in the game tonight. Blackford will fall to 2-20 on the year and remain winless at 0-6 in Central Indiana Conference play. Frankton, on the other hand, will move up to 10-11. And depending on how Mississinawa's game shakes out, we'll move to 3-2 and possibly move past Mississinawa up into third place in the CIC. So Frankton in really good standing as they near the close of the regular season in terms of a conference finish. But it's going to be pretty darn hard to pass up Oak Hill and Alexandria as everybody closes down towards the end of the season. 49-15, still the score, and the clock will continue to tick. The next matchup for Frankton will be on the 28th. They'll be on the road at Mississinewa. That's their second to last conference game, I should say, of the regular season. That one tips off at 7:30 on the 28th against a currently 8-12 Mississinewa team. And then the Eagles will close out their regular season on the road at Elwood. Elwood right now one spot behind Frankton at 2-3, 11-7 overall. That game tipping off at 6. Blackford will round out their season. Just one more game to go for the Bruins after tonight. They'll be on the road at Eastbrook. Eastbrook just a couple of spots ahead of Blackford. 1-4 coming into the night in conference play. Still a 49-15 lead for Frankton here this evening. Top of the key, it's Farrell who mishandles the basketball. It goes into the backcourt. That's a turnover, and we are down to the final 90 seconds to play in this fourth quarter. Frankton will emerge victorious and get back on the winning side of the basketball. They'll be 10-11 overall with the win tonight. 7-6, so they finish with a winning record on their home hardwood. And they have won 5 of their last 7 games, closing down towards the end of the regular season. Good defense on the far end of the floor for Dorothy Forrester. And with 60 seconds left, one more substitution for Frankton.
Number 10 comes in, Delaney Perkins, the freshman guard. She takes out number 20, Addie Moore.
Down to 50 seconds left to play. 49-15, a heck of a battle it was, and Blackford still showing Frankton as they score late. That was number 25, Braylon Wilson, who put 2 up for the Bruins. 49-17, big 2-point bucket on the other end made for Kalia Buis for Frankton to make it 51-17. In transition, a bucket no good for Blackford. 25 seconds left. Farrell comes up with a steal, and she's going to walk it up the floor and slow the pace down for Frankton. A block shot as she went up to try and pad her stats as we near the end of this contest. And a travel call at the top as Dorothy Forrester second-guessed herself before putting the ball to the deck. 5 seconds left, and we will finish the night with a final score of 51-17. Frankton moves to 10-11 and will move to 3-2 in conference play. Blackford slips to 2-20, 0-6 in the Central Indiana Conference. We'll keep it here for just a moment. Our sponsor tonight, Johnson County Golf Carts. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Find them in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. We're going to kick it to the sideline here in just a moment with Lily Herrera and head coach Jeff Bates of the Frankton Eagles. What a night tonight for the seniors as well. A dominant win on senior night. Over to the sideline now with Lily and Coach Bates. Come up here in just a minute as they get together. Let's send it to them.
Thanks, Colin. Coach, congrats on the win today. How well did your girls adjust from the first half to the second half?
They did pretty well. Of course, we got a lot of players in playing different positions and that sort of a thing, and so trying to keep the intensity up was important.
How do you take this win forward when you move towards sectionals?
Well, hopefully we can look at how we executed and kind of clean up a few things and then move forward with that.
Thank you, Coach.
Once again, the final score, Frankton 51, Blackford 17. A big win for the Lady Eagles here tonight. But we're not done with basketball yet on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. In about 20 minutes, we're going to get some boys basketball action. The 2A Frankton Eagles and the 2A Blackford Bruins. That's a good matchup to watch. Frankton 4-7, Blackford 8-5. Joey, really a tough showing for the Lady Bruins here tonight, but still a lot to think about as they move on into their future with a very young roster.
Yeah, and I think that's really the highlight here. They've got a lot of freshmen and a lot of sophomore, and I think that's the key for Coach Murphy as he keeps progressing his roster, getting the team and getting the girls acclimated to high school basketball at its finest and doing his best to, like I just said, acclimate the girls and get them as much experience as they can, because when it comes to their junior and their senior years, they're going to be the best that they've been.
Once again, that final score 51-17. Leading performer for the Frankton Eagles, of course, that's Emma Key. 14 points, 5 boards, and 6 steals solid stat line for her to finish things out on the home hardwood as a Frankton Eagle. We'll step aside for a couple of minutes, get our thoughts together, get the final preparation done for this boys game that we've got coming up. The Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins, another Central Indiana Conference matchup here at Frankton High School. You're watching IHSAA High School Basketball. It's a doubleheader, Frankton and Blackford on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Tonight's ball game on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com has been driven by Greg Hubler Ford and built by Universal Roofing and brought to you by Peterman Brothers Heating and Air Conditioning, by Werner Financial, Genesis Sports Performance, and by the Mower Shop. This has been a presentation of IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Back at Frankton High School on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, we got the second of our two matchups on the docket getting ready to start. It's boys basketball as the 2A Frankton Eagles host the 2A Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Colin Eccles, Joey Paternoster bringing you the call. Our sideline reporter is Lily Herrera, and our cameraman is Michael Blezick. Good opportunity for both of these two teams tonight. Joey, Frankton comes into the evening 4-7. Blackford 8-5 on the other side of the floor, and Blackford catching a hot streak at the right time coming into this conference matchup. Back-to-back wins. They beat Mississinawa on the 17th, 54-52. And they're coming off a good win over Winchester, 47-44 on the 18th. So it's been about 6 days since Blackford has taken to the hardwood. A little bit of rest for them. Frankton, on the other hand, coming off just one win against Madison Grant on the 17th. 63-36, the final score there for Frankton. Right now, Frankton third place in the Central Indiana Conference at 2-1. Blackford, number 1 in the CIC, a perfect 4-0 as a part of their 8-5 overall record. Should be a heck of a matchup today. There's a lot of firepower on the floor. You and I got to see some of these Frankton Eagles up close right before Christmas, and that comes from the trio of Brady Carmack, Joey Wright, and rounding out some of the best performers, Trey Bennett, and finishing the whole thing up, Ethan Stansberry. Those four by themselves, a big key component to the inner workings of this Frankton team. They've been really good all year, and especially Brady Carmack and Joey Wright. Brady Carmack, 15.4 points a game. Joey Wright, on the other hand, 12.2 points, but he makes up for a lot of things on the floor, in part with his really good scoring, with over 5 assists per game to help his Frankton team.
I mean, both guys really good. I mean, the Eagles have a very well-rounded offensive and defensive side, just like the girls' game we saw. They run a tough defense. I don't quite remember if they run the press very well, but I do remember they have a very strong defense, and their offensive pressure is immaculate. And like you just said, it runs through Carmack, it runs through Wright, and Stansberry contributes, as well as the 6'6 sophomore Trey Bennett. I mean, it is all around. This Eagles team is going to have a fantastic day along with this Bruins team. Both teams looking to really light each other up.
The Bruins have a couple of hot hands on their roster as well. Amarion Leggett, 15.6 points a game for him. And then Gage Baker, 16.5 points a game for the senior shooting guard that stands at 6'3". Blackford, man, not a team to be taken lightly by any means. The Bruins leading the Central Indiana Conference for a reason. Pretty solid conference overall, top to bottom, but it's not going to be an easy task against a Frankton team that, quite frankly, knows how to ball. A fun team to watch. Like you said, they space the floor really, really well. They move the ball incredibly fast on the offensive side, and that causes a lot of pressure and a lot of defensive collapses for some of their opponents.
I mean, Frankton's 4-7 on the year. They're coming off a great win against Madison Grant, the 2A school, from 63-36. That boosted their win record from 3 wins to 4 wins. And before that, a tough loss to Pendleton Heights, a 4A school, so a fairly large school, who's 5A, 51-34. So Frankton's got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder coming off that win against Madison Grant, but that was a tough game, and now they're coming in to face this Blackford team who's 8-5, like you just said, no team to screw around with. So this is something serious that Coach Brobston, who's no slouch himself, he's in his 17th season. He knows exactly what he's doing and exactly what he wants from his players.
When you look towards the finish of the season, when it hits sectional time, and for boys basketball, that's quite a ways away, as both of these schools just about halfway through their regular season. They sit at opposite ends of their respective sectionals. Frankton, coming out of sectional 39, sits at 0-2 with a sectional record. Blackford, on the other hand, they're at the top of their sectional, 2-0 in sectional play, but Blackford, they've got a tough Wapahani team that is 13-0 overall on the year, lurking just one spot back from them. The sectional matchups and the sectional pairings not based off of those sectional records, obviously, but kind of nice to know where you land at in terms of the competition that you're going to see throughout that postseason run. And Blackford really making their case for why they're going to be a tough opponent in the postseason for anybody that they face.
I mean, you also can't count out Wapahani. I mean, they're 13-0 so far this year. They've got one conference win, or they've got one sectional win throughout their 6-team sectional, but they're no slouches as well. They've got a couple of good teams. Eastbrook, middle of the pack, 6-6, but Blackford, like you just said, certainly making a case for themselves.
About 13 minutes and 35 seconds remaining before tip-off of this matchup between the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins. Good battle coming out of the Central Indiana Conference. First place Blackford, third place Frankton. 4-0 versus 2-0, those conference records. Step aside for a couple of moments, come back, dive in a little more into the individual players that we're going to see on the court. Hopefully catch up with head coach of the Frankton Eagles, Brent Brobston, in just a few minutes as well with Willie Herrera. That's what's coming up next on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system. And no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems. And save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
Just about 10 minutes left before the start of our second matchup here tonight between the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. We turn our focus to the boys' side of the floor. Colin Eccles, Joey Paternostro on the stage bringing you the call here this evening. Looking at Blackford, Joey, we said it a couple times just before that last break. Going to be a really tough opponent for Frankton tonight. Part of that being the fact that as I'm watching warm-ups, they've got guys who can pretty much do it all. Play really well down in the post and with a mid-range game, but they've also got some guys that are going to be pulling up really well from beyond the arc to hopefully add some very valuable points to their total here early.
Yeah, they do, and height is no slouch. I mean, we've got number 23, Mason Kitterman, standing at 6'4", number 13, Gage Baker, coming in at 6'3", but we've also got, as well as Amarian Leggett, the freshman 6'4" guard. So they've got three guys that are 6'3" and above, two of them being 6'4", but the other two guys, you've got the 5'9" senior guard and you've got the 5'9" senior guard in Jacob Lees and Kentrell Toomer. So you've got some height, but you've also got some severe shortage, which I see as a plus side for Frankton. You've got two guys, when they get the ball and maybe look to drive, you can take advantage of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely, but I mean, no shortage of shooting ability, though, from Kentrell Toomer and Jacob Lees. Jacob Lees just 6.7 points a game, but does a really well facilitating the floor. He's got about 3 assists to his name on average. Crazy to think, though, too, that the two leading scorers for Blackford, that's Gage Baker and Amarian Leggett, are on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of class. Gage Baker, a senior with 16.5 points a game. Amarian Leggett, a freshman with 15.6 points per game. That's going to be one heck of a duo to watch, and somebody like Leggett, who's averaging just about 16 points a game in his freshman year, he's going to be a pretty good force to be reckoned with over the next 3 years of his high school career at Blackford.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he's 6'4", he's a freshman, and right, just like you said, he's averaged just about 15 points a game. I mean, that as a coach, Coach Daniels, in his first season with the Bruins, that's something that you love. You got a first-year guy that comes in and just absolutely wreaks havoc on the league. It's fantastic, and Coach Daniels gets him for another 3 years after this.
Something we talked about a little bit before we even went on the air for this second game is the sheer difference in roster size. Blackford carrying significantly more on their end of the floor than Frankton. That could be something that factors into the competitiveness and the condition later on in the game. 19 on the roster for Blackford, 14 for Frankton. Those 5 extra fresh sets of legs could be, like I said, a big difference maker, and especially if it comes down to the wire at the end of the fourth quarter.
I can't wait to see what kind of presence foul trouble has on this ball game. I see a lot of tough baskets, a lot of physicality down in the post on the blocks. So I'm excited to see who's got 3-4 fouls late into the fourth quarter. See what kind of pressure that creates on A, the coaching staff, but B, the players on the court.
And that matchup that we saw against Eastbrook back on December 13th, Frankton played a very physical basketball game. They were led by Trey Bennett, who put up a double-double with points and assist. He's going to have to be a big factor for Frankton tonight, one of the tallest that they're going to see on the floor at 6'6", and he's just a sophomore. He outscored himself by about 5 points of his average in that game. He's got about 7.4 points a game, but he averages 7.5 boards as well, so he's going to be a big key on the glass for Frankton, and that's something that Coach Brobston pretty much says every time that we get a chance to speak to him is, controlling the boards, corralling the glass. That's going to be a big key for Frankton if they want to come away with a win, and it usually is for any team, but against a team that is so diverse, so tall, so athletic like Blackford is, it kind of heightens the stakes at how important rebounds are for this Frankton team.
I mean, Trey Bennett, just like we talked about with the Marion Leggett for the Bruins, Trey Bennett going to be a key piece for Coach Brobson and the Eagles these next couple of years, especially after this season, the Eagles lose senior Joey Wright and senior Brady Carmack. So that's a huge downside for the Eagles, and they're going to rely more on the 6'6" sophomore Trey Bennett, as well as the two guys going to go into their senior years next year, but they're currently juniors, both Ethan Stansberry and Noah Melvin. Those guys having good seasons all around.
Yeah, Joey Wright, a big key piece of this Frankton team, offensively, defensively, leadership-wise, that's going to step away at the end of the year because of graduation. And he does so. Very, very good scorer, just over 12 points a game, but also able to facilitate the floor extremely well. Averages 5 assists, so at minimum, he's accounting for about 10 extra points that don't come from him every single game. And, I mean, the days where he is on, man, is he fun to watch.
No kidding, is he fun to watch. He's electric on the floor and physically, but mentally, he's a huge part for this Eagles offense, and he's a huge part for this Eagles team. They do a great job, and I feel like they're led straight through the senior of Joey Wright. He's electric on the floor, and when he's sitting on the bench, he's the loudest one. He's the loudest one cheering. He's the loudest one talking to his teammates. He's giving props, and he's, I did notice when we were here during December and throughout the Eastbrook game, any chance he got, and he got a second to rest on the bench, he was giving props, and they were talking. It's like the quarterback on the football field. He was always talking with somebody on the bench, whether it was talking about him or talking about something they saw, but they were always going over something, which is something that you love to see.
Especially with the senior leadership that comes from him on the floor. Just under 5 minutes to go before the start of our second matchup tonight. Don't forget that tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing. You can call Universal at 317-257-0779 or visit universalrfg.com. Tonight's game is driven by Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. Experience the Greg Hubler promise at greghublerauto.com. The Mower Shop in Fishers, mowers, snow throwers, parts, and more, all available at themowershop.com. Peterman Heating and Cooling. You can call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. And, of course, Johnson County Golf Carts, where small-town charm meets exceptional service. You can experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Visit Johnson County Golf Carts in downtown Franklin or at JC Golf Carts sports.com. 4 minutes to go before we get this thing underway from Frankton High School. We'll step aside for one more run of advertisements, and then we'll get you down to the starting 5 for each end and tip-off. It's the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system. And no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems. And save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
Moments away from tip-off, it's Frankton and Blackford going at it in the Central Indiana Conference on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. 1:40 before we get this thing on the way. Both teams coming out for their final shoot-arounds. The band is in full swing inside the Eagles' Nest at Frankton High School. And it's a pretty packed house as well. Both sides of the court starting to really fill up. The student section is full directly across the court from us. They were really active during the first game, and now we're going to go over to the sideline with Lily Herrera and head coach of the Eagles, Brent Brobston.
We're really going to. This is a good offensive line, very well coached team. He's done an absolute job. If we don't defend it a high level,
15 points a game. How is a top scorer like
Carmack gets out in transition well, and he's got to do that tonight. He's created some points off of his defense and his effort defensively too. He leads us in steals, leads us in rebounding, and if he can do all the hustle things he does, that brings everything to his game.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you.
Good words from Brent Brobston, head coach of the Frankton Eagles. A big key tonight is the defense. Defense is what he had to preach in that interview with Lily Herrera. And against a team like Blackford who can score the rock pretty much at will, that's going to be a big deal. Brady Carmack, another one that they touched on there. The leading scorer for the Frankton Eagles, 15.4 points a game, 8.3 rebounds as well. Another big key on the glass for the Frankton Eagles. The final horn sounds at pregame, and it is time to get down to the nitty-gritty, the personnel that will be taking the floor for both teams. Joey, you've got Blackford on your end. Why don't you go ahead and take it away with the Bruins starting 5.
We begin with the 6'4 freshman guard, number 0, Amirian Leggett. Then the 5'9 senior guard, number 4, Kentrell Toomer. Then the 5'9 senior guard, number 5, Jacob Lees.
We'll take a quick break for the national anthem on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. and a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too. And we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system. And no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems. And save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
Pardon the interruption during that last break. This is IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. The second of our two games this evening as we get the Frankton Eagles and the Blackford Bruins. Colin Eckers, Joey Paternoster bringing you the call. Now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. The personnel on the floor for both teams. Kicking it off with Blackford is Joey.
Colin, we're going to start way back from the top. The 6'4 freshman guard, number 0, Amarian Leggett. Then the 5'9 senior guard, number 4, Kentrell Toomer. The 5'9 senior guard, number 5, Jacob Lees. The 6'3 senior guard, Gage Baker, wearing number 13. And the 6'4 junior forward, number 23, Mason Kitterman. Coached by Aaron Daniels in his first year. 8-5 so far, the Bruins are.
The Bruins sit atop the Central Indiana Conference at 4-0 in conference play. Let's look at the Frankton Eagles. It's going to be the 6'3 senior forward, number 2, Brady Carmack. The 6'2 junior shooting guard, number 21, Ethan Stansberry. The 6'2 junior small forward, number 23, Noah Melvin. The 6'6 sophomore power forward, number 24, Trey Bennett. And, of course, the 6'2 senior guard, number 32, Joey Wright. The Eagles are coached by Brent Brobston in his 17th year at Frankton High School. A 4-7 record overall, which I think does not clearly represent the amount of talent on this Frankton roster. They sit at 3rd in the Central Indiana Conference, 2-1, their conference record. They've had some close losses this year. They lost to 2A Tipton, who is 10-2 overall in the season by just a score of 59-50. A 61-55 loss to Oak Hill, who is second place in the CIC right now with a 3-0 record. 61-55 the score there. A close one to Monroe Central as well, who is a top 10 team in the state of Indiana for Class 1A. Final score was a 12-point deficit, but still a really tough Monroe Central team, 48-36. The final score there. And then, of course, Liberty Christian, 58-55, another top 10 team in the single A class for the state of Indiana. Close games up and down the board. If you flip some of those around, you could be looking at a 7-4 record instead for Frankton. Nonetheless, they're here fighting to get closer to that 500 mark, but still half of the regular season left to go before sectional time rolls around.
And that's certainly one of the bright sides for Frankton right now. 4-7, not necessarily the greatest. They're playing an 8-5 Blackford team, but the bright side, they're halfway through. They still have this second half of the season to play, which is fantastic for the 4-7 Eagles, which, like we've talked about, they've got quite a talented roster full of quite a few guys who can A, score the rock, B, pass the rock, and C, they can play all together as a team led by Coach Brobston and some of these seniors.
It's going to be an exciting matchup to pay attention to. Should be very high energy and high tempo. And I think you're going to see a little bit of it all. especially from Blackford. Like Coach Bobson said in that conversation with Lily a few minutes ago, they're a team that can pretty much do anything with the ball. They shoot it well, they play the post well, the mid-range game is good as well. But Frankton, they can do just about the same. I'm expecting a really good contest here tonight from Frankton High School. We're about to get things underway. Jumping for the Blackford Bruins will be the 6'4 freshman guard, Amarian Leggett. And jumping for Frankton will be Trey Bennett. One more round of fist bumps before the starting five take the floor for Frankton. And a very energized crowd as well, a very energized student section across the floor from us. Should be entertaining to watch tonight. Center circle, it's Trey Bennett and Amarian Leggett. Officials getting everybody into position, going over one last spiel of the rules. Whistles blow, ball is in the air, and it is Blackford basketball. Bringing it up the floor is going to be Jacob Lease. Lease will start top of the arc and go over to the left side corner. Pulling a three is Control Toomer, and that is a quick impact for Toomer. 3-0. Blackford out quickly, 14 seconds into the first quarter.
And if you're the Bruins, that's exactly what you want. Get off to a hot start. Now let's see if they can stay there. They need a good defensive stop to really keep this momentum.
Top of the key is Joey Wright firing a three, and that's matched on the other end of the floor. It's threes across the scoreboard with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in quarter number one.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of that blow-for-blow basketball.
And there's a steal. Noah Melvin gets in the passing lane of Contrell Toomer. Taking it the other way is Ethan Stansberry. Left side wing for three. It is Joey Wright. His shot no good. Ball knocked around. Melvin with the offensive board. Down to the right baseline, it's Carmack. Back out to Melvin. Right wing for three. Noah Melvin knocks it down. 6-3. Frankton out to a lead 1 minute into the first quarter.
Blow for blow. The Bruins just have to take a breath here. Run your play. Get through it.
Toomer at the top of the arc. Shaded to that left side. Passes the ball back up top to Kitterman. Kitterman over to the right side wing. That's Lease. And it's back to the top again to Kitterman. Kitterman driving it with the left, loses his handle. Ball is out of bounds. Last touch, the officials say, by Frankton. It will stay. Bruin basketball on the near end of the floor. 6-3 is the lead for Frankton with 6:37 left in quarter number one.
Can't forget, folks, the referees don't necessarily see everything all the time.
On the right side wing, pulling the three is Kitterman. His shot no good, and Joey Wright snatches the ball off the glass. 6:28 left in the first quarter. 6-3 the lead for Frankton. Carmack in the left corner. Goes up to Melvin, top of the key. He'll kick out to Stansberry on the right side, and it's back up top to Bennett. Left side wing, Joey Wright. Right back up top again to Carmack. And Carmack kicks it back out towards the volleyball line to Stansberry. Over to Bennett, just outside that left elbow. He'll hand the ball off to Carmack. Off the drive, he picks up his dribble at the charity stripe. And it's back out to half-court-ish area for Joey Wright. He'll hand the ball back off to Stansberry. Good defense for the Bruins. 5:53 left in the first quarter. 6-3 the lead. Three ball on the way for Ethan Stansberry. And that's 3 threes to open the game for Frankton. 9-3 the lead over Blackford with 5:40 left in the opening quarter. Three going the other way is just off the mark for Gage Baker. And we've got a foul called against the Bruins. The foul is charged to Blackford's number 23, Mason Kitterman. His first on the Bruins in the opening quarter. 5 minutes and 34 seconds left, and it is a 9-3 lead for Frankton. Don't forget tonight's game built by Universal Roofing. Call Universal 317-257-0779 or visit universalrfg.com. Top of the key, it's Noah Melvin. He'll work his way towards that right side wing and pass the ball off to Joey Wright. Back up top to Bennett. He'll hand the ball off to Carmack. Fires three just off to the right side. Board is pulled down by Gage Baker, and the ball is up the floor with Leggett. Leggett on the left side, crosses over and hop steps through traffic, and there's a foul called now against Frankton. Officials are going to pin the foul on number 23, Noah Melvin, his first, and the first on the Eagles in the quarter. Inbounding for the Bruins is Jacob Lease. He'll find Leggett on the left side wing. Back up under in the left post, and scoring two is Gage Baker. Ends the drought for the Bruins. 9-5, Frankton leads with 4:52 left in the opening quarter.
The Bruins doing a great job playing tough, solid defense, not really letting the Eagles get a good shot off.
Joey Wright, left side wing for the Eagles, goes up top to Carmack, picks up his dribble off the drive. His shot denied rudely by Mason Kitterman. Ball up the floor, loosely out of bounds towards the Frankton bench. Possession arrow will stay favoring Blackford. 4 minutes and 35 seconds left in quarter number one. It is a 9-5 lead for the Frankton Eagles. Leggett has the inbound just near half court, works his way towards that Frankton logo. Leggett to the right side wing, passes the ball down right baseline to Baker, back out again to Leggett. Up top now with Kitterman, fires three, and it is no good. It rattles off the top of the backboard and out of bounds. Frankton basketball with 4:17 left in the first quarter, still a 9-5 lead for the Eagles.
That's a great play call there from Coach Daniels. Leggett just has to keep his eyes open and down the court a little bit more, and he's got Mason Kitterman for a wide open three instead of a contested shot. Just have to be a little bit quicker.
Top of the key, that's Bennett. Picks up the dribble and passes right side wing over to Joey Wright. He'll hand the ball off to Carmack coming up from the baseline, and there's a foul against Blackford. It's on Jacob Lease, his first, team second. Halfway through the first quarter, 9-5 is the lead for Frankton. Don't forget to check out one of our sponsors, Johnson County Golf Carts, where small town charm meets exceptional service. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. Carmack from the right side wing off the inbound, skips it all the way around the arc to the left side to Joey Wright. He'll drive in left baseline, and it is moved all around and finds who else but Trey Bennett in the left post for two. 11-5. Frankton out to a 6-point lead again with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the opening quarter. Ball taken away, but recovered by Kitterman, and Kitterman is going to be fouled on the shot attempt, and he'll go to the charity stripe for a pair. I believe the officials will pin this on Trey Bennett, and they will. His first, Frankton's second in the quarter.
A fantastic through-the-legs pass there from Gage Baker to find Kitterman down low. Kitterman, great job to go up strong and cause the foul.
Kitterman lining up for his first shot at the charity stripe. Will knock it down. It's 11-6. And we are going to have a substitution possibly coming in for Blackford. That'll be subbed in for Mason Kitterman if he's able to knock down the second shot. Mason Kitterman lets the second one go, and he will finish the 2-for-2 opportunity. 11-7 the lead now for Frankton. Here's that sub for the Bruins.
Number 22, Cole Dickey coming into the ball game.
Bringing the ball up the floor is Joey Wright. Wright will pass out to Melvin. Still at the top of the arc, Melvin being pestered defensively by Gage Baker. Back to the left side wing with Joey Wright. Up top to Stansberry, and he'll pass the ball off to Carmack. Carmack guarded by Leggett, and Amarian Leggett will pick up his first foul and the team's third. 11-7 is the lead for Frankton with 3:12 left in the opening quarter. Joey Wright will inbound from in front of the Blackford bench. Finds Carmack in the right corner. Carmack out to Stansberry, swung around to the left side wing. Joey Wright, three, no good. Board battled for down low by a pair of Bruins, and Gage Baker comes away with it. He'll set up on the right wing. To the top to Leggett. Leggett crosses over, picks up the dribble, and passes it back out again to the top to Toomer. Toomer nowhere to go off the defense of Stansberry. Shaded over to that right side. Will pass the ball back to the top of the key. Loose ball taken away by Joey Wright. Fed ahead to Carmack. Carmack, left side, fouled on the shot. He's going to the free throw line for a pair. Good transition play by Brady Carmack, as Coach Brobston said that we would see throughout this game. First foul going against Gage Baker in the fourth against Blackford this evening. First shot for Brady Carmack will fall. 12-7 the lead now for Frankton. And here's a sub coming in for the Bruins.
Reggie Duran coming in. Not sure who he's taking out, though. Taking out number 4, Kentrell Toomer.
Carmack lets the second free throw go, and he does have a perfect 2-for-2 trip. 13-7 the lead now for Frankton with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the opening quarter. Amarian Leggett will bring the ball across half court, works his way to the right side and passes off to Baker. Baker looking for some room. Skips it down to the right post. Skip back to the top now to Duran. And the ball is in the back court. That is over and back. A miscue between Jacob Lease and Reggie Duran. Duran just got a hand on it and couldn't haul that pass all the way in.
That's a great look from Jacob Lees, though. Dribbled all the way around, found number 40, Reggie Duran, down at the elbow. Duran just unable to get a hand on that ball.
Joey Wright to the left side of the floor to start the possession. Skips it to the right side wing to Carmack. Back down to Trey Bennett, cutting to the basket right side. 15-7. Biggest lead of the game so far for Frankton with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Right side, that's Baker. Driving, spins, past Melvin. Counted and one for Gage Baker. Gets the bump on Noah Melvin and finishes fading away. 15-9, the current score as it stands, with the and one free throw to follow for Baker. That is the second foul going against Noah Melvin. And the team's third.
Number 23, Mason Kitterman coming in, taking out number 5, Jacob Lees for the Blackford Bruins.
First shot up and away is good. The and one falls for Gage Baker to make it 15-10. Still a 5-point Frankton lead under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Top of the key, that's Trey Bennett for the Eagles. Moves over to the left side and hands the ball off to Joey Wright. To the right corner, that's Carmack driving baseline, hop steps, goes high off the window, and Brady Carmack makes it 17-10. 1:40 left to play before quarter number 2.
That's a good job from Carmack there. The play there is to get the ball from right and look down the baseline to see if somebody's open. If not, drive himself.
And there is a foul going against Blackford. That's Gage Baker, who got tangled up with Noah Melvin. Melvin was playing great on the ball defense, poked the ball away, and then Baker gets in his lane and puts him to the deck. Bonus free throws coming up now for Noah Melvin. With 90 seconds left to play in the opening quarter, it is a 17-10 lead for Frankton. Melvin will look to extend that to the largest of the game so far for the Eagles, as he awaits the basketball from the officials. That's 5 fouls for Blackford. And unlike college ball where the fouls, or where you hit the bonus at 7 fouls, it is the bonus at 5 fouls in high school ball as Melvin misses his first, and it resets every quarter. So you don't have to worry about that foul trouble as much, but it still can be deceiving when you don't have any fouls on the board, especially if you have some guys in foul trouble late in the game.
Number 5, Jacob Lees coming in, taking out number 13, Gage Baker for the Bruins.
Noah Melvin makes it 1 for 2, an 18-10 lead for Frankton. 90 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. Leggett comes across half court, standing firm at the logo, passes left side wing to Kitterman. Kitterman down to the left post, found Lease, and the ball is back out to the top again to Kitterman. Spins past the defense of Carmack and finishes acrobatically at the rim. 18-12. Frankton ahead by 6. 60 seconds to play in quarter number 1.
That was great ball control there from the 6'4 forward Kitterman. Fantastic job to lay the ball up.
And an open Stansberry finds the window and taps it off the box and through the hoop for 2. 20-12. Frankton ahead by 8. 45 seconds left before the start of the second quarter. Kitterman on the left side wing. Right side, will drive in and draw the foul, and it goes against Trey Bennett. His second. 4th on the team for the Eagles.
We talked about it a little pregame. Here we are. We're 40 seconds out of this first quarter, and here we are. Noah Melvin and Trey Bennett each have 2 fouls apiece. Number 34, Javon Miller coming into the ballgame, taking out Trey Bennett with 2 fouls.
Trey Bennett, one of the guys you don't want to see go to the bench, the second leading rebounder with about 7.5 a game for Frankton. Off the inbound, right side wing, it's Duran. Ball will go back to the left side wing now with Leggett. 30 seconds left to play. 20-12 the lead for Frankton. Kitterman fires 3. It's good. 20-15. The Bruins back within 2 possessions. 20 seconds left before quarter number 2. Right side wing, it's Carmack. He'll move his way back to the logo for Frankton. Probably looking at one-shot basketball for the Eagles as we have 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Carmack on the right side wing. Up top to right. Feeding it down to Javon Miller in the post. Miller's floater, no good. Ball batted around picked up by Carmack. Carmack fires at the buzzer for three, just short off the right side rim. And we head to quarter number 2 with a score of 20-15. Frankton leads. Back in a minute on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too. And we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
Start of the second quarter, it's a 20-15 lead for the Frankton Eagles over the Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Colin Eccles, Joey Paternostro bringing you the call from the stage, the left side of the gymnasium. Original 5 on the floor, minus Trey Bennett. Javon Miller will take his place at the start of the second for Frankton. Let's go to the sideline with Lily Herrera.
Thanks, Colin. Coach Brobson said to shut down the shooters. If they can shut them down, they can minimize the scoring damage from the Bruins. Back to you.
A lot of that scoring damage has been done from 3 here early for Blackford. About 10 seconds into the second quarter, 20-15 the lead for Frankton. Left side wing, it's Noah Melvin. Melvin back to the top to Joey Wright. Wright off the drive, kicks it back to the top to Miller. Miller picks up the dribble and now will pass it off again to Joey Wright. Around the horn, it's to the left side wing now to Stansberry. Back up top, Melvin. He'll pass up the 3. Goes back up top to Miller. Miller fires off to the left side. No good. Offensive board for Joey Wright. He'll go inside. You can count the basket. And one for Joey Wright. And no, they get him for the charge. What a swing and momentum there. As Joey Wright picks up his first foul. It looked initially like there had been a call. The student section was celebrating and threw off my mark just a little bit. Instead, it is a turnover for Frankton. Spinning into the lane the other way is Jacob Lees. His ball taken away. Now it's ahead to Stansberry and Carmack. The ball will go out of bounds, and the officials say it is last touched by the Bruins. It'll be Frankton basketball. A minute into the second quarter, 20-15. Frankton still out to a 5-point lead.
Frankton doing a great job offensively, but defensively, this Bruins team just not letting them in the paint.
Left side wing, Stansberry fires a high arcing 3 that falls short. Kitterman might have got a finger on it. Joey Wright with a steal in the backcourt. Tries to go up left side, no foul call, he can't score. Ahead to Kitterman, nice dish over to the left block, and that is Reggie Duran cutting the lead to 3 for Frankton. 20-17 with 6:43 left in the second quarter.
Now that is transition offense. Very well done from the Bruins.
Left side wing, it's Stansberry. Passes the ball lower to Melvin. Melvin into the paint. Nice find for Javon Miller off the left glass. 22-17. Frankton out to 5 points in lead with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left in quarter number 2. Leggett at the top of the arc. Passes right side wing to Duran. He'll move his way back to the top of the key. Duran picks it up and hands the ball off to Leggett again. Directing traffic. Right side wing, Leggett feeds Kitterman right post. Kitterman goes off the window. Too strong, and Melvin pulls down the board. Ahead to Carmack. He'll switch his pace and go over to the left side wing. Loose ball picked up by Melvin. Melvin finds Miller in the paint. To the right post, spinning. Back up top right. Open 3 on the way. It is too strong. Ball batted around. The loose change corralled by Gage Baker. Ahead to Lease, and Lease finishes from the left side block. 22-19. Bruins down by 3 with 5 minutes, 38 seconds left in quarter number 2.
Blackford doing a fantastic job of limiting the Eagles offensively and just dominating them. On offense, the Bruins are really thriving.
Stansberry on the right side wing, moves up top to Miller. Left side wing right. Pump fake, steps to his right, fires for 3, and he's fouled. Amarian Leggett is going to give Joey Wright 3 tries at the charity line. 22-19 the lead for Frankton. While we do have a break, don't forget that Peterman Heating and Cooling is one of our sponsors. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing service at 317-608-1883. 22-19 is the lead for Frankton. 23-19 after that first made free throw. 5 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter, and a 2-for-2 trip makes it 24-19. Joey Wright will still have one more free throw to go at the line. So he's 2 for 2, looking to go 3 for 3 on this next attempt. 5 on the floor right now for Frankton is Stansberry, Carmack, Melvin, Miller, and shooting his third free throw is Joey Wright. Wright lets the third go, and it is a 3 for 3 trip for the senior guard. 25-19. Frankton ahead by 6. Leggett will work the ball up the floor. Over to the left side wing, firing 3 is Kitterman. His shot off the mark. Carmack pulls down the board. Carmack crosses over to the left side post, high off the box for 2. 27-19. Carmack makes it an 8-point lead for the Frankton Eagles. 4 minutes, 55 seconds left before halftime.
That's exactly what the Bruins can't allow the Eagles to do. They can't allow them to break away and get some momentum headed into halftime.
Lees in the left post, finds Kitterman. Kitterman is called for the offensive foul. Second on Kitterman tonight. Second in the quarter for the Bruins. 4:43 left before halftime, and it is a 27-19 lead for Frankton. The Eagles off to a red-hot start in the first half. Joey Wright will bring the ball up the floor for the Eagles. Wright faking a jab to the left, now passes over to that left side at the top to Stansberry. It's back to Miller, right side. Miller over towards the left side wing to Melvin, now skips it around the horn to the right corner to Carmack. Back up top to Stansberry. He'll hand the ball back off to Miller once more. Miller working towards that left side of the court is going to get some help from Joey Wright coming up from the baseline. Wright around the horn again. It's Melvin on the right side wing. Finds Joey Wright. Right post for 2. That is pinnacle ball movement there from the Frankton Eagles. Took their time, found right under the hoop, and a timeout is called on the floor by Aaron Daniels and the Blackford Bruins. 4:08 left in the second quarter, 29-19. The lead for Frankton. It's double digits. And don't forget Johnson County Golf Carts. Small town charm meets exceptional service at Johnson County Golf Carts. Whether you're a seasoned golfer, weekend adventurer, or simply looking for a convenient way to navigate around town, JC Golf Carts has a product that is just right for you. Johnson County Golf Carts is a locally owned family business providing top-notch customer service to everyone who walks through their door. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. Big 10-point lead here halfway through the second quarter for Frankton. A lot of momentum on the Eagles' side of the court, and it continues to grow with that last offensive possession.
The Eagles looking really solid here, but the Bruins defense really standing tall. The Eagles, if you can't go through them, just simply go around them. And it's been working so far. It's led them to this 10-point lead. The Bruins need to stop here. They need to get some points, allow themselves to come back and chip away at this one before halftime.
No personnel changes at the timeout break. Just outside the left post, and now shooting left corner is Gage Baker for 3, and that's how you come out of a timeout. 29-22. Frankton ahead by 7. 3:47 left on the second quarter clock.
That was exactly the play that Coach Daniels drew up, and they executed it to perfection.
On the left side wing, it's Joey Wright for the Eagles. Wright working his way towards the top, finds Miller. Miller moving to that right side will pass the ball off to Melvin. He comes back to the top of the arc, and it's to the left side wing again to Wright. Up top to Melvin. Now right side wing Carmack. Carmack up top to Melvin again. Has a lane. Stop and pop from just behind the charity stripe. Too strong off the heel of the cup. Lees pulls down the board. Leggett will bring it up the floor. And there's a foul in transition against Ethan Stansberry. His first and the Eagles' second of the quarter. Stansberry trying to get a little chase down steal against Amarion Leggett.
Number 32, Jacob Dillon coming back into the ballgame, subbing out number 5, Jacob Lees for the Bruins.
29-22, the lead for Frankton. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left before half. Bruins have the possession. It is Leggett at the top of the arc. He'll go to the left elbow to Kitterman. Kitterman dribbling out towards the line. Ball knocked away by Joey Wright. Dives on the floor. Body's failing. It's ahead to Carmack. Off the glass. Scores 2. Brady Carmack makes it 31-22 in transition off the great defense from Joey Wright. Less than 3 to go before half.
Joey Wright, fantastic defense, and what great job to pick that ball away and allow Carmack to capitalize on the 2.
Baker from the right baseline has his pass batted out of bounds by Ethan Stansberry. The Frankton defense coming alive in the second quarter. 2:45 left before halftime. It is a 9-point 31-22 lead for the Eagles over Blackford.
The Eagles certainly have all of the momentum right now, and it's Blackford's job to pull that momentum away from them as we head to half.
Contrell Toomer will inbound. Toomer looking for Kitterman. He goes straight ahead of the cup and drops it in for 2. 31-24. Blackford hanging around with 2.5 minutes left before the halftime break.
That brings Kitterman up to 8 points on the day so far.
Miller at the top of the key, hands the ball off to Carmack. He'll pass left side. It ends up in the hands of Stansberry. Stansberry was looking for Melvin at the top of the key. Taken away by Jacob Dillon. Goes up left side glass. Too strong. And Stansberry pulls down the board. Ahead to Carmack. Off the glass for 2. The assist for Joey Wright. 33-24. It's a 9-point lead again for the Eagles with 2 minutes to go before halftime. Leggett on the right side wing. Driving into the baseline. Picks up the dribble and passes back to the top to Toomer. Toomer towards that right side. Finds Kitterman right post. Counted and 1 for Kitterman. Draws the foul against Noah Melvin and will head to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play attempt. 33-26. Frankton with the lead. Less than 2 minutes to go. And that is just the second foul against Noah Melvin. Third of the quarter for Frankton. Personnel change on the floor as well for the Eagles.
Number 14, Blake Nickham coming into the ballgame, giving number 23, Noah Melvin, a rest.
And the old-fashioned 3 will be completed by Mason Kitterman. 33-27. 1:50 to go in the second quarter. Joey Wright over on that left side will hand the ball off to Stansberry. He moves back towards the top and will pass again off to Joey Wright. Wright to Miller over towards that right side of the floor. A lot of Eagles huddled around the right side wing. It ends up in the hands of Joey Wright. And down to the right corner, that's Stansberry. Back out towards the logo again, it's Wright. 1:25 to play before half. 33-27 remains the lead for Frankton. Top of the key, that's Nickham. Now left side wing, it's Carmack. Carmack moving his way towards the top, finds Miller. Frankton taking their time running the offense. Right side wing, it's Stansberry. Up top to Carmack, left side wing, it's Wright. Now back up to Carmack again. Down to 1 minute to play in the first half. 6 points the lead for Frankton. Right side wing, that is Stansberry. Stansberry up top to Miller, and there's the mess up by Frankton. Over and back into the back court and trying to chew all of that clock off. Blackford finally found a hole in the offense and exploited. It will be Bruin basketball with 47 seconds left to play before the half, and Frankton is going to pull in a sub.
Number 31, Baron Dietzer coming into the ball game, subbing out number 32, Joey Wright. You know, Frankton did a good job of taking off a minute from the clock there, but unable to capitalize with a bucket.
Leggett across half court to start the last offensive try, possibly of the first half for the Bruins. Left corner, it's Kitterman. Back up top to Toomer. Drives down to the left elbow and hands the ball off to Baker coming up from the baseline. Down to the right post. That's Kitterman who tried to go up in reverse for 2. His shot off the mark. Carmack will bring it ahead for the Eagles. Carmack through traffic. Has the ball ripped and is going to come the other way with Gage Baker. 18 seconds. The lob ahead to Kitterman was too far. Ends up back in the hands of Javon Miller. And now Stansberry will take it across half court. He'll hand the ball to Carmack. 8 seconds before halftime. 33-27, Frankton with a lead. Carmack, 3 seconds to get a shot off. Turns around and fires at the horn. It is around the world, but will not fall. We head to halftime. Frankton leading Blackford 33-27. And before the Eagles make it to the locker room, we're going to send it down to the sideline in just a moment with Lily Herrera. She's meeting up with Coach Brobston down on the floor. Let's get it down with her.
Thanks, Colin. Coach, after the first quarter, you said to the guys, shut down the shooters. How crucial is it for them to carry this into the second half?
Well, we got to do a better job getting out of three-point shooters. I mean, if we would do that, then this game would be completely different. But we're not covering shooters like we need to. We're not getting through back screens. They're doing a great job of running their offense. We're doing a good job of running ours. It's just kind of a back and forth game right now. But we've got to get out and get control of getting shooters with Baker and Kitterman.
What are a couple things that need some adjusting before they start in the second half?
That's what we got to adjust. Our defense has got to be better, and we can't give up 27 points in a half. So we need to be better defensively, and that's what our whole entire discussion is going to be about in this half.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.
33-27 as we hit halftime. Frankton with just a 6-point lead over the Central Indiana Conference leader, Blackford. Big second half coming up. We'll step aside for a couple of moments, come back with halftime analysis, and then get you back down to the hardwood with the third quarter. Frankton leading Blackford 33-27 in the Central Indiana Conference matchup on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system and no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems and save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
At the half, Frankton leads the top-ranked Blackford Bruins in the Central Indiana Conference matchup 33-27 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Colin Nichols, Joey Paternostro bringing you the call tonight. Don't forget, tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing. You can call Universal at 317-257-0779 or visit UniversalRFG.com. Tonight's game is also driven by Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. Experience the Greg Hubler promise at GregHublerAuto.com. The Mower Shop in Fishers, mower, snow throwers, parts, and more, all found at themowershop.com. Peterman Heating and Cooling. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing services, 317-608-1883. And, of course, Johnson County Golf Carts. Experience the difference with JC Golf Carts for quality and service in hometown hospitality in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. One heck of a first half so far for Frankton as they're out to a 6-point lead as we cruise through this halftime break. Joey, dive into some of the numbers for us. Leading scorers on the floor, Brady Carmack and Joey Wright having a big first half for Frankton.
Brady Carmack, he's got 2 rebounds, but he's got 10 points, 6 of which coming from that transition offense. Stansberry, he's got 5. Joey Wright, coming in second. He's got 8 points so far. He's 3 for 3 from the line with those 3 free throws. He's got 2 rebounds and 2 steals as well. On the other side of the ball, Gage Baker with 8 points and 5 rebounds. He's got 2 fouls as well. Mason Kitterman, though, that is where the Bruins run their offense. He's got 12 points as well as a block down in the paint. That is where the Bruins assert their dominance with Kitterman.
Kitterman already passing up his season average of 9.3 points per game so far tonight. He's been big. He's hit a couple of big and one shots down the stretch. But something that Coach Brobston said right before he headed to the locker room in that chat with Lily is that the defense on the perimeter shooters really needs to be upped in this second half for Frankton. I mean, we saw it during warm-ups. We talked about it a little bit, and we've seen it in the first half. This is a Blackford team that really, when they get the hot hand, they can do just about anything. And I think, like Coach Brobston said, he put it the best way possible. This game could be very different if they would lock down on some of those perimeter shooters. You could be looking at, maybe even a double-digit lead here at halftime.
You certainly could be, but you also have to factor in that Trey Bennett didn't get any playing time at all during that second quarter. So you have to assume that when we come back from halftime, Coach Brobston is going to get Bennett back into rotation, and that paint job is going to be more well-rounded from the presence of Trey Bennett, hopefully covering up Mason Kitterman. So by plugging up the middle with Trey Bennett, ultimately the border game, the three-point line should become a little bit more clustered. So that's the hope for Coach Brobston. You also have to factor in you cannot allow Trey Bennett, as well as Noah Melvin, to get into too much foul trouble.
Absolutely, and I mean the transition game is another thing that Coach Brobston talked about before the start of the game. He said that Carmack was going to be a big factor in that, and he has done so. 6 of his 10 points coming in transition. And Frankton, I think, doing a really good job offensively right now, moving the ball around with a good bit of pace, taking their time and waiting for the offensive game to kind of develop for themselves before they look for a shot. Clearly paying off relatively well, 33-27. The score, Frankton with a close lead at halftime, but still a lot of game left to be played. And with a Blackford team that can shoot the ball as well as they can, Amarion Leggett hasn't really woken up too much. Contrell Toomer started off with a big three-pointer just 10 seconds into the game and has gone relatively silent since. I think another thing to think about, too, Mason Kitterman, if he doesn't, miss a couple of those big shots down low in the paint where he tries to go up and under and score in reverse fashion and put a little showmanship with it, could be looking at a much closer game for Blackford. So for both teams, there's been a good opportunity for them to get into the mix and really create and control their own destinies. Right now, Frankton just doing a hair better of a job with that. We're going to head back to one more commercial break, come back in a moment for the second half of action between Frankton and Blackford on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too, and we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Before the second half gets underway from Frankton High School on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, let's go down the sideline with Lily Herrera and head coach of the Blackford Bruins, Aaron Daniels.
Thanks, Colin. Coach, still a close game at the end of the half. What needs to happen on the court in order to gain some ground to win this battle?
We've got to defend better. We've given them wide open looks, and it's kept them up 6 or 8 the whole game. We just got to defend somebody.
Who are you looking to take some leadership on the court?
Gage Baker, he's our guy, and so we've got to have him take control.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
A big key focus in the second half is going to be Gage Baker for the Blackford team. A lot of the offense running through him. Saw a little bit of him. He's a very exciting player to watch down on the hardwood as we head towards this second half. A quick reminder again that tonight's game built is by Universal Roofing. Call Universal at 317-257-0779 or visit universalrfg.com. Tonight's game also brought to you by Peterman Heating and Cooling. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. Start of the third quarter, 33-27 is the lead for Frankton. It will be Blackford basketball. Amarion Leggett comes across half court to get things started for the Bruins. Over to the right side wing, that's Baker. Baker inside the paint, steps through a triple team, goes high off the glass, and what a start to the second half for Gage Baker. 33-29, Frankton up by 4 with 7 minutes and 42 seconds left in the third.
That's a good job by Baker coming out and setting the tone, getting a good bucket early.
Left side wing, Stansberry, back up top to Melvin. Now into the right corner. Right pump fakes drive. Stop and pop for Joey Wright is off the mark. Leggett pulls down the board. Feed ahead to Kitterman. Kitterman blocked rudely by Joey Wright, but Joey Wright is going to pick up his second foul of the evening. 33-29 the current score. Mason Kitterman will have a pair coming his way at the free throw line.
I'm not sure if Joey Wright made contact with Mason Kitterman, but the referee saw the referee saw what the referee saw.
And correction, that is the third foul on Joey Wright tonight in the first of the third quarter for Frankton. First shot for Kitterman rattles through, 33-30. Blackford out, so just closing it down to one possession. One more coming up for the Bruins at the line, that's Kitterman. And it's a 2-for-2 trip. 2 points is the deficit, 33-31, Joey Wright. Running point will bring it up the floor for the Eagles. Wright over to that right side of the floor, passes it down low to Carmack, back up top to Stansberry. Now left side wing and driving, that is Joey Wright. Off the glass, he'll draw the foul and go to the line for a pair. Foul, I believe, is going to go against Kitterman, and that is the case. That's Mason Kitterman's third in the first of the quarter. In the third for Blackford. First shot up and away, no good for Joey Wright. That's two big names on the floor, one for each side, and some pretty big foul trouble here early in the second half.
You have to wonder how big of a picture that's going to paint.
And how big of a picture is an 0-for-2 trip going to paint? Not that big, because Trey Bennett ends up with the ball in his hands after the offensive board from Melvin and makes it 35-31. Lee's on the right side wing, moves to the top. There's a steal for Carmack. Carmack, one-on-one, is fouled in transition by Kentrell Toomer. Toomer picks up his first, and now Brady Carmack is going to go to the stripe for 2. And just when Blackford is able to close this game back down to 2, the Eagles, keeping them at bay, have forced them back to kind of that 6 to 8 point lead range. The first free throw up away and no good for Brady Carmack.
Brady Carmack, a great job to get through and fight through that foul, forcing him to the line.
Second shot also no good for Carmack. That's a pair of empty trips for the Eagles to start the second half. And there's another steal in transition. Joey Wright breaks up the pass. Melvin brings it across half court. Up top to Carmack. He steps into the lane, and there's going to be a travel called against Brady Carmack. 6:37 left in the third. 35-31 the lead for Frankton. Blackford still right in the ball game, though, and you can see on that far side, Coach Aaron Daniels of the Bruins yelling out to Leggett, be smart. It's a big possession for Blackford.
It's a huge possession because this is exactly where you can get
step back three.
That.
Just about as big as it gets, and Gage Baker rattles off a three-pointer to make it 35-34.
Oh.
Whistles blow following.
I think they called an offensive foul on Gage Baker.
And there is some intense discussion between Coach Daniels and the official. No points have been taken off the board. So it looks like it is 35-34. And my guess is they had a warning for a flop. Gage Baker did extend the leg just a little bit. to try and draw a foul. Carmack on the other end tries a three. His shot no good. Bennett pulls down the board off the glass, and his second chance won't go. Gage Baker will work it up the right side of the floor. 1 point game with 6 minutes left. Three on the way for Lees. Around the world, no good. And Joey Wright brings it the other way for the Eagles, leading 35-34 over the Bruins with 5:50 left in the third. And there's a foul. And again, it's Kentrell Toomer. And the Blackford fans are not happy about the call, as it remains a 1 point deficit for the Bruins. 35-34 with 5:48 left in the third. Kentrell Toomer picks up his third in the third of the quarter for Blackford. Joey Wright gets it across half court to Stansberry on the left side. He'll move back towards the top and go right side wing to Carmack. Carmack moving his way back towards the top of the arc. Around the horn, it's over to Wright on the left side wing. Wright back up top to Melvin. And out of the right side to Stansberry. 5:20 left in the third, a 1 point lead right now for Frankton. 35-34 over the Bruins. Down to Trey Bennett. Left post going to work, not able to score. Gets his own offensive board and comes down with it just outside the right lane. The left corner, Stansberry passes at the three and drives, and it is an offensive foul against Ethan Stansberry, his second of the evening, and the second against the Eagles in the quarter. 1 point, the deficit for Blackford. An opportunity to take the lead with 5:06 left in the third. The Bruins haven't led since the first quarter.
Colin, I think this is exactly where we see who prevails, who comes out of this chippiness the winner, who comes out the leader, and who comes out ultimately with less fouls.
Right side wing, it's Gage Baker. Driving baseline, ball batted out of play, and it is going to stay Bruin basketball. Student section not happy about it for Frankton. Tonight's game once again brought to you by Peterman Heating and Cooling. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. And Johnson County Golf Carts. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality in downtown Franklin or jcgolfcarts.com. 4:57 left in the third. Personnel change on the floor.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 34, Javon Miller, taking out number 32, Joey Wright, who now has 4 fouls with 5 minutes left in this third quarter.
Off the inbound, working that right post is Baker. Ball put to the deck, and it ends up in the hands of Toomer. He'll go up with the left. His shot no good, finds his own offensive board. Out to Leggett, right wing for three. His shot no good, and Stansberry finally comes away with the basketball. 35-34, still the lead for Frankton. Right post, Bennett off the window. That's 2 more for Trey Bennett. 37-34. Frankton back out to a 3-point lead with 4:27 left in the third.
Trey Bennett up to 8 points with 4 rebounds on this.
Nearly another steal for Carmack. Loose ball, bodies hit the floor, and it's a fast break for Melvin. Melvin, pump fakes, off the glass, can't finish. Loose ball picked up by Gage Baker, and now we're going to have a foul going against Blackford. We'll wait for the official call to see who it's called against. And it will go against Gage Baker, his third. It will be the 4th on the team for Blackford. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout called on the floor as well. We'll step aside for 30 seconds of our own. 37-34, 4:10 left in the third quarter when we come back on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
New year, new ways to save at Peterman Brothers with $1,500 off a new heating and cooling system. And no interest financing up to 36 months. You can even get a tax credit of up to $2,000 for select systems. And save even more with a membership. Just ask about the Peterman Protection Club. If you're ready to save big in 2025, just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
4:10 left in the third quarter. It's a 37-34 lead for the Frankton Eagles over the Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Colin Nichols, Joey Paternostro inside the Eagles' nest, bringing you the call this evening. Carmack inbounds for the Frankton Eagles. Finds Javon Miller. Right side wing, right side block goes off the square for 2. 39-34. Frankton back out to a 5-point lead. 4 minutes remaining in the third. Left side wing, that's Kitterman. Pump fakes, now drives, and he is going to be fouled on the floor. Blackford fans were looking for him to be fouled in the shooting motion. The call will not go their way. And the foul will go against the Eagles' Javon Miller, who just scored that 2 points on the other end of the floor. 39-34. Still a 5-point lead for Frankton. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. Top of the key, that's Leggett. Has a lane, goes up with the right, and Amarion Leggett will add 2 to the total for the Bruins. 39-36, 3 points the deficit for Blackford. 3:40 left in the third.
Leggett averaging 15 points so far. That's his first bucket on the day.
And that is going to be an offensive foul. Noah Melvin, with the moving screen, picks up his 3rd foul of the night. 5th against Frankton in the quarter. 3:34 left in the third. 39-36 is the lead for the Eagles. Leggett will bring the ball across half court, passes left side to Baker, 4-3, no good. Melvin pulls down the board. Carmack streaking ahead, poked away from behind, ends up in the hands of Baker, and now it's going to be Lees bringing it the other way to the left block. Off the glass, no contact, but a 2-point bucket good for Mason Kitterman. 39-38, it's a 1-point lead for Frankton, and we've hit the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Left side wing, it's Carmack. Driving baseline, goes up with the floater, and he's fouled. That foul will go, I believe, against Jacob Lees. And we'll get the official call, and no, it does not. It goes against Mason Kitterman. His 4th, team's 5th. That is a big foul pinned on Mason Kitterman. 2 shots at the stripe for Brady Carmack. Lets the first go, and it will fall through. 40-38. The lead now for Frankton. Here's a personnel change for both sides.
Coming in for the Bruins, number 40, Reggie Duran. Meanwhile, for the Frankton Eagles, coming in is number 14, Blake Nickum.
Carmack lets the second free throw fly. It is no good. Leggett pulls down the board. 2-point game. 2:55 left in the third. Left side wing. That is Baker. Moves his way back to the top, passes to Leggett on the right side wing. Leggett looking for some space. Kicks out off the drive, left corner Duran. 3 is good! And it is a 1-point lead for Blackford, their first lead since the opening quarter. 2:35 left in the third. Bruins up, 41-40. Right side wing, it's Melvin. Up top, Nickum pump fakes and now drives. Kicks out to Carmack, left corner. He'll drive down left baseline, and that's another turnover for the Frankton Eagles. 2:23 left in the third. Blackford out to a 41-40 lead.
Simple miscommunication there between Carmack and Nickum, leading to that turnover. Unfortunate for the Eagles, have to bounce back here.
Top of the arc. It's Leggett to the left side wing to Lees. He'll pick up the dribble and go up top to Duran, but it's knocked into the back court, and that is an over and back violation for the Bruins. But great hustle from Reggie Duran to try and get that ball back and keep it safe for Blackford. And he gets a big applause from his bench, including head coach Aaron Daniels.
No kidding, that's a huge hustle play because likely that leads to 2 points for Frankton.
2 minutes to go in the third. Frankton down 1, 41-40. Their first time trailing since the first quarter. Nickum at the top of the key. Finds Melvin. Left baseline, back out to Nickum, and Nickum called for the travel. That's another big turnover for Frankton. Another huge empty possession, and the Eagles will put in a sub.
Number 34, Javon Miller coming into the ball game. Like you just said, taking out number 14, Blake Nickum.
41-40. Frankton down 1. 1:50 left in the third. Leggett at the top of the arc for the Bruins, looking to extend their lead. Finds Baker, right wing for 3, and it's good! Gage Baker makes it 44-40. Blackford out to a big-time lead, their biggest of the game. 1:35 left in the third, and it comes at maybe one of the biggest moments in the contest so far. Great defense on the other end by Baker. Loose ball, finally corralled by the Bruins. A jump ball is called, and it is going to be Frankton basketball still, but the defense, a combination of Gage Baker and Amarion Leggett, causing some disruption on the floor for Frankton.
This Eagle offense having a tough time playing without their leader, Joey Wright.
Wright having to sit with 4 fouls is a big hurt to Frankton. Trey Bennett has it at the logo off the inbound. It's over to the right side. Now with Miller. Back up top to Stansberry. He'll look to drive. Finds Carmack in the left corner. Carmack hop-stepping through traffic. Goes up with a floater. Wide off the left side. It's out of bounds, and it is Blackford basketball. 1:09 left before the fourth. 44-40 the lead for the Bruins. And this one coming down to the wire. We said it, how much is foul trouble going to play into that situation if it comes down to the fourth quarter? And right now it's paying off in dividends for the Bruins to have Joey Wright on the bench for Frankton.
However, the Bruins not out of trouble. Mason Kitterman, he's got 4 fouls, and Gage Baker 3 as well. So they're certainly not out of the murky water.
Leggett at the top of the arc. Goes left side wing to Duran. Ends up in the hands of Lees back at the volleyball line. 40 seconds left before the start of the fourth. 44-40 the lead for the Bruins. Leggett, left side of the floor, moves his way to the top. Kicks it out to Duran in the left corner. Bruins trying to set up for one-shot basketball at the end of the third.
Certainly looks like they're going to get it.
25 seconds left. 4-point lead for the Bruins. Lees at the top of the arc. Fakes the handoff to Leggett. 18 seconds on the clock. Duran on the left side wing. Passes back out to the volleyball line to Leggett. Less than 10 to go. 8 seconds in the third. Leggett gets a screen, moves over to the right side, hop steps, and is blocked by Trey Bennett. Second chance opportunity goes through at the buzzer for Jacob Dillon. 46-40 as we head to the fourth quarter. Bruins with their largest lead of the game and their first since the first quarter. 1 minute, and we're back to start the final quarter of regulation between Blackford and Frankton on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Start of the fourth quarter. What a game we have on our hands. Blackford leading Frankton 46-40 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Colin Eccles, Joey Paternostro on the call. Let's go down to the sideline with Lily Herrera.
Thanks, Colin. Come behind the bench from the Bruins. Coach Daniels wants them to stay aggressive and bury this game for the win. Back to you.
Time to put the pedal to the metal if you are the Bruins. Leggett with the basketball to start. There's a steal for Cormick out of the inbound. Cormick ahead. Left window scores 2. 46-42, and it's right back to a 2-possession game for the Eagles. 7:45 left in the fourth.
Carmack with 4 steals so far on the day.
Durant on the left side wing. Moves his way up top to Toomer, and we've got a whistle chirping, and it is a offensive foul against the Bruins. It will go against Reggie Duran. Duran's first, team's first of the fourth for Blackford.
Duran going to take a break. Coming in for the Bruins, number 5, Jacob Lees. Also back into the ballgame for the Eagles is Joey Wright.
Big name to have back on the floor if you are Frankton. Joey Wright is running point. He'll start out on the left side wing. Picks up his dribble. Wright in some trouble. Will hand the ball off to Stansberry. Moving his way back towards the logo. Now to the right side. Ends up in the hands of Melvin. Melvin up top to Carmack. Spinning his way into the lane. Off the glass. You can count it. And one. The hoop and the horn for Brady Carmack. A 46-44 lead now for the Bruins. And an and one free throw to come for Brady Carmack.
A limited Joey Wright, but Brady Carmack says, don't worry. I got you.
Contrell Toomer charged with his 4th foul, 2nd of the quarter for the Bruins, and that's a good 3-point play. 46-45, Frankton trailing 1, 7-12 left in the final quarter of regulation. Toomer at the top, hands the ball off to Lease. Lease working towards that left side, passes the ball off to Dillon. Dillon moving back towards the top, finds Leggett. Leggett, pass the ball off. There's another steal for Carmack. Carmack ahead, one-on-one, blocked at the rim, follow up by Trey Bennett falls. Frankton back in front, 47-46. Great chase down effort by Leggett, but man, Trey Bennett on that follow-up, he's been so good at that all year.
Colin, I don't know if you felt that, but that was the momentum just shifting gears.
Still anybody's game with 6:30 left in the 4th. Baker, left wing 3 is good. 49-47. Blackford jumps back ahead by 2 with 6:20 left in the 4th.
Back and forth, blow for blow.
Melvin on the left side wing finds Bennett, cutting to the left post, pump fakes and scores. 49s on both sides of the scoreboard. 6 minutes left in regulation. We got a hot one on our hands in the Central Indiana Conference. 1st place Blackford, 3rd place Frankton. And there's a foul called.
Who is this one going against?
The whistle's beep, and it looks like it is going against Blackford, And it goes against Contrell Toomer.
Ooh.
He is 5th, 3rd of the quarter for the Bruins, and Toomer's day is done. 5:58 left in the 4th. We're all tied at 49.
That's really a tough break for the Bruins because he has been reliant. He only made 1 3 early in the quarter, but he's been reliant on defense, really shutting down the guards for Frankton.
Joey Wright, top of the arc. Passes to the right side, elbow to Bennett. Back off to Wright. Wright looking for some space. Moves his way back towards the logo. Loose ball hits the deck. Wright comes away with it. Off to Carmack, right side wing. He'll dump it down to Stansberry. Stansberry up top again to Carmack. Carmack drives in with the left, turns around, puts one up wide to the left side, and Gage Baker comes away with the board. 49-49, 5:20 left. 3, good for Gage Baker. 52-49. 3-point lead for the Bruins with 5:10 left in the final quarter of regulation. Bennett the logo. Ends up in the hands of Stansberry on the left side wing. Back up top to Melvin. Melvin off the drive finds Wright. Right wing back up top to Bennett. He'll move his way from right to left and find Carmack. Back down to Bennett. Off the glass left side. His shot is no good. And that is Kitterman who comes away with the board. Ahead to Leggett. And Leggett is called for stepping on the sideline. I did see the foot hit, and I think the Blackford fans are looking for a foul call against Joey Wright as there was a lot of contact on the floor.
The Bruin fans heated.
Stansberry will try a 3. That is no good. Foul is called. It will go against Frankton. And that will be charged to Trey Bennett, his 4th. First on the team in the 4th quarter for Frankton, who trails by 3 to the leader of the CIC, Blackford, 52-49. 4.5 left in regulation. Carmack with another steal. Gets in the passing lane. One-on-one and blocked again by Leggett. Leggett, a pair of rejections just in the 4th quarter. Ahead to Baker. Left wing pump fake. Step right. 3. Off the mark. And a loose ball ends up in the hands of Joey Wright. Has numbers. Ahead to Carmack. Carmack around Baker is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that was a big bump applied by the Bruins. And that was Gage Baker who picks up his 4th foul. We are halfway through the 4th quarter. Frankton with a 52-49 deficit. Tonight's game driven to you by Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. You can experience the Greg Hubler promise at GregHublerAuto.com. And if you were going to drive anywhere in a Greg Hubler automobile on a Friday night in the Frankton area, inside the Ingles Nest is where you would want to end up. Frankton down 52-49. to the Blackford Bruins. And the first shot at the stripe is good for Brady Carmack. 52-50. 4:07 left in the fourth. Carmack will look to chip away more with this second shot. Brady Carmack lets it go. And it's in and out, no good. Still a 2-point deficit. Half of the fourth quarter left to play for Frankton. Top of the key, it's Leggett. Shades his way to the right side wing, gets a screen and drops to the right corner. Driving baseline. Decides otherwise and moves back out to the volleyball line. Leggett trying to choose some clock for the Bruins. Kicks it back to the logo to Kitterman. Now over to the right side again, that's Lease. Lease down to Baker. Left corner three. Short. Offensive board for Lease. Leafs moves back to the right side wing and passes off to Leggett. 3:30 left in the fourth. Leggett off the drive. Finds Baker again left corner. He won't try the three. Instead passes back up top to Leggett. Right side wing Lease. Lease looking for Kitterman down low, and it's batted away by Melvin. Melvin with the save. Ahead to Carmack. Coming up the left side of the floor. Carmack stripped by Leggett. Leggett 3-on-2 against Wright and Melvin, and there's a foul called against Noah Melvin, his fourth. What great defense from Amarian Leggett. A couple of blocks down the stretch against Carmack and then picks his pocket in transition.
Colin, that might be one of the best steals I think I have ever seen. That was intricate. He knew exactly where that ball was. That's fantastic ball tracking from Leggett, especially to come down and now force Noah Melvin to get his fourth foul.
2 fouls on the team for Frankton in the fourth quarter. Up and under the basket, scoring 2, Jacob Dillon. 54-50. Blackford ahead by 2 scores with 2:55 left in the fourth.
Jacob Dillon with 4 points on the day, 2 buckets.
Cutting to the basket, Trey Bennett will match on the other end from the left side. 54-52. 2:45 left in the fourth.
That brings Trey Bennett up to 14 points on the day along with 5 rebounds.
Leggett, top of the arc, goes right side wing to Kitterman. Kitterman moves his way towards the top of the key. Will hand the ball back off to Leggett. Leggett working against Stansberry. Stansberry with the steal. Bennett comes away with it. Taken right back by the Bruins. Right side corner. Baker. 3. It's good. Gage Baker blows it open to a 57-52 lead for the Bruins with 2:16 left in the fourth quarter. Timeout called on the floor by Coach Brobston and the Eagles. We'll step aside for 1 minute of our own. Frankton trailing to Blackford 57-52 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
2:16 left in the fourth quarter. Frankton down to Blackford, 57-52 on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. It's 2 of the top 3 teams in the Central Indiana Conference. Blackford holding the number 1 spot, 4-0 in conference play. Frankton in third at 2-1. Colin Eccles, Joey Paternostro on the call. Lily Herrera, our sideline reporter. Michael Blezick is the cameraman for the evening. What a classic this has turned into inside the Eagles' nest at Frankton High School. 5-point deficit for the Eagles, and they've got the ball. Let's go to the sideline with Lily Herrera as we get back down to the action.
Thanks, Colin. Coach Brobston needs to see the Eagles step up defensively. They weren't as sharp as they have been, especially in the first half, and it definitely is costing them so far. Back to you.
Joey Wright, left side wing and driving. Nice dish to Bennett. Bennett nowhere to go, swinging around the arc, ends up in the hands of Melvin, left side wing. He'll go back up top to Stansberry. Less than 2 to go in regulation. 5-point deficit for the Eagles. Up top to Wright. Wright looking for some help at the top of the key. Pass the ball off to Stansberry, right side. Now down right corner, Carmack. Nowhere to go. Blackford's defense holding strong out to Melvin, left corner up top to Bennett. Bennett, right side wing, right. Fires 3. No good. And Leggett comes away with the board. Leggett being pestered in the backcourt by Stansberry. Here comes some full court pressure from the Frankton Eagles. Leggett Able to get it across half court has Baker, and it's over to Kitterman on the right side wing. Back up top to Baker. Now left side wing, it's Leggett. Left corner, Lees. 1:15 to go in the fourth. 57-52. Frankton trailing. Lees is tied up for a jump ball. And it will be Frankton basketball with 1:08 to play in the fourth. Tonight's game brought to you by Johnson County Golf Carts. Experience the difference where quality and service meet hometown hospitality in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. Another timeout called on the floor by Coach Brobston, a 32nd. We'll keep it here. 68 seconds. All that's left to be played in the fourth quarter. 57-52 is the lead for the Blackford Bruins over the Frankton Eagles.
Colin, this is exactly the moment as a player that you look for. This is the time where you can be a hero individually, but as a team, this is where you thrive. This is where those practices, those long 2-hour, maybe 3-hour, depending on where you're from, those practices really come into play. Those last 15 minutes where coach says fight through it. This is what the fourth quarter is going to be like. This is why you practice. This is why you have those moments, because of times like these. So that way, the better team, the better conditioned team comes out on top.
Motivational speeches from Joey Paternostro available online at joeyp.com.
Not a real website.
No, it's not, but that was such a motivating speech. That third quarter without Joey Wright might come back to haunt the Eagles a little bit when he had to sit down with 4 fouls. He's got it. He's going to try a three from the right side wing. It's just short. Ball corralled by Kitterman, and that is going to be Brady Carmack who picks up his first foul with less than a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Only the third on the team. It will remain Bruin basketball. And Blackford is about to bring in another sub.
Number 40, Reggie Duran coming in, taking out number 32, Jacob Dillon.
5 on the floor for Frankton is the original 5. Carmack, Stansberry, Wright, Melvin, and Bennett. 5 on the floor for Blackford is Lease, Leggett, Baker, Kitterman, and Duran, and there's another quick foul applied by Frankton. And again, it's Brady Carmack, his second, team's fourth.
Have to keep in mind here late, Noah Melvin, Trey Bennett, and Joey Wright each have 4 fouls.
Carmack bats the ball out of bounds, and it is Frankton basketball. Carmack got a hand on it, but it was last touched by Gage Baker. 5-point game, less than a minute to go. We got another timeout called on the floor. 30 seconds, again by Coach Brobston to try and draw up a last 54.8-second scheme to try and come away with a winner, at least send it to OT for Frankton.
The question is, are you looking for Brady Carmack or are you looking for Joey Wright from 3? You need a 3, but then you have to come back, either get the foul or force a steal, get the ball back, and then make it 2 to come back and tie the ball game up. So you're down 2 possessions at a minimum. Tough play call here from Coach Brobson. We'll see what he comes up with.
You could make the argument, though, that a 2-point basket would be just as effective first off the board, because the way this defense has been playing, especially Carmack, he's come away with more than a handful of steals tonight. Very easily could the Frankton Eagles score on this possession and come away with a turnover on the other end.
Also have to remember there's 4 fouls apiece, so one more foul from Frankton leads to the bonus.
And there's the quick 2-point try. Trey Bennett is fouled on the shot, and he will go to the free throw line for 2. The foul goes against Blackford. I didn't see the official call on who made the contact. Looks like it's going to be Jacob Dillon picking up his first, and now Trey Bennett will have an opportunity for 2 free throws at the stripe. Bennett lines up and lets the first one go. It is no good. A big free throw missed for Trey Bennett. Subs coming in on both ends of the floor.
Number 40, Reggie Duran coming back in for the Bruins. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, number 34, and that's it. Number 34 coming into the ball game. Number 34, Javon Miller coming in back into the ball game.
Trey Bennett with his second shot. That second will fall. It's 57-53, and there's the second sub coming in for the Eagles.
Now number 14, Blake Nickham coming into the game.
And some heated words from the Blackford fans as it's starting to get chippy down here in the final minute of contest. Inbounding is going to be Lees. He'll find Leggett. Quick foul applied by Stansberry. Stansberry with his third foul of the evening. 57-53. 52 seconds left in the fourth. And that is going to send Amarian Leggett to the line for two. 57-53, the current lead for Blackford with 51.7 seconds left on the board.
Arian Leggett averaging 15 points a ball game, just 2 so far today. He's looking for his third and 4 points today.
A lot of waves coming from the Frankton student section, and they pay off. Leggett misses his first. Subs coming in.
Joey Wright coming into the game. Trey Bennett coming back into the ball game, taking out Javon Miller as well as Blake Nickham.
One more shot at the line for Leggett. Looks like there was a sub as well for Blackford, as that is a 1-for-2 trip. That was Kitterman who came back in. So 58-53 the score now. Stansberry on the left side wing, will drive, finds Bennett. Right post, up off the glass, but he threw it off the side of the backboard. Kitterman pulls down the board, less than 35 seconds to go. The clock actually beeps at 35-9. 58-53. Frankton down by 5, and that is going to send, looks like it is Leggett back to the line to shoot free throws. Fourth foul charge to Noah Melvin. Leggett lining up for his first free throw, and it will fall. First one is good at the line, 59-53. Now the lead for Blackford. One more for Amarian Leggett. Lets the second go. And it is a 1-for-2 trip. Carmack with the board. 6-point difference for Frankton. And we got a timeout called by Coach Brobston and the Eagles. 6 points. All that separates the two teams. 59-53 the lead for the Bruins. 30.3 seconds left in the fourth. We'll step aside for a minute with the full timeout. Back for the final 30 seconds between Blackford and Frankton on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
The Mower Shop in Fishers is the one-stop shop for all of your lawn maintenance needs. We have a huge selection of Honda and Toro lawnmowers in stock and even more to choose from online. Plus, we carry parts and accessories with super fast shipping. Just need maintenance or repairs? We offer that too. And we'll even deliver. The Mower Shop, family owned for more than 20 years. Visit our showroom just west of State Road 37 in Fishers or shop online at themowershop.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
30.3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Frankton basketball, and the Eagles trail 59-53. The Blackford Bruins on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Brady Carmack finds Joey Wright on the inbound. It's ahead to Melvin. Ball taken away by Lease. Joey Wright ends up in possession. The left wing fires for three. It's short. Loose ball again picked up by Wright, and finally corralled off the hardwood by Melvin. Wright, top of the key, tried to fire a three, and he somehow buried it. 59-56. Oh my goodness.
Colin, I don't know how that ball went. I don't know how he got that shot off.
Through a triple team at the top of the arc. Joey Wright able to make it a one-possession game with 11.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. My, oh my, when you need your man to step up and do a job late in the fourth, Joey Wright is the guy you call on for the Frankton Eagles.
I said it earlier in the girls' game, but here it is prevailing in the boys' game. This is why we play the ball game. You play the game no matter what. No matter what the score looks like, that's it. It comes down to the final play. Here it is, 59-56. This is anybody's ball game with 12 seconds left to play.
I'll tell you what, we've gotten back-to-back weeks of really good basketball.
No kidding.
On IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, a game that came down to the wire last week between top 10 Monroe Central in single A basketball in Shenandoah. It was a missed three-point opportunity by Aiden Coffey that could have won the game for Shenandoah. Instead, Monroe Central walks away with some great defense, and now we've come down to a one-possession game with 12 seconds left in the fourth after the big made three from Joey Wright. Down to the court with Lily Herrera.
Thanks, Colin. Behind the Bruins sideline, Coach Daniels wants to see them stay calm and collected and take control of the court to end the game. Back to you.
Calm and collected is the message for the Bruins, and a big moment for them to need to do it. Xavier Leggett fouled quickly. Amarion Leggett fouled quickly by Stansberry. Stansberry's fourth. And now Leggett will have to go back to the free throw line for a pair. Amarion Leggett trying to lead the Bruins to victory. Didn't have very many points at all in this game. Has led them to a 59-56 lead. He's got just 4. Loud student section for Frankton. First free throw is good. And that could very well put it away for Blackford. Quick substitution for the Bruins.
Jacob Dillon coming into the ball game, subbing out number 5 at Jacob Lias.
11 seconds flat. 4-point lead for the Bruins. One more for Leggett. And it is a 2-for-2 trip. That very well could have iced it. Wright will streak up the floor. Fires from the right side wing for 3. His shot no good. And the ball goes out of play and will stay with the Eagles. 61-56. It's a 5-point deficit with 3.7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Inbounding is going to be Joey Wright. Finds Nickham. Left corner for 3. His shot no good. Kitterman pulls down the board. And Blackford survives Frankton. 61-56. What a comeback win for the Bruins, who led by 3 in the first quarter, come back at the end of the third, and walk away victorious to stay at the top of the Central Indiana Conference at 5-0 and 9-5 overall. Frankton falls to 4-8. Joey, you can't ask for much more from a Friday night of high school basketball, especially when it comes to the Eagles' Nest. Oh my goodness. Blackford survives the scare.
Most literally, I don't think you can ask for any more. Both teams giving it 110% out there. It was chippy towards the end, but that led to a great game all around. Unfortunately for Frankton, Blackford comes out victorious. However, this is a win all around for both teams. This is a hard-fought loss for the Eagles.
Shows you how tough these two teams are going to be once it comes to sectional time. Frankton going into sectional 39. Blackford will go into sectional 40. Blackford's next matchup is at home against Monroe Central. That will be one heck of a ball game. And that game comes at you on the 25th. So a quick turnaround for them as they play again tomorrow against a very tough Monroe Central team. Frankton, on the other hand, their next game will be at home tomorrow as well against West Elk. Good opportunity for the Eagles to bounce back on their home hardwood. Frankton falls to 4-8. Blackford moves up to 9-5 and will stay at the top of the CIC at 5-0 overall. Let's go ahead and go through some of those individual performances right now, starting with the victorious Blackford Bruins, Joey.
Mason Kitterman leading the way. He only had 3 rebounds. He had a very clutch block down in towards the end. However, he did lead the way with 16. He came close to leading the way. He was 16 points. Gage Baker, though, 5 3-pointers, giving him 22 points, as well as 8 rebounds and a steal mixed in there as well. Amarion Leggett with 4 clutch free throws towards the end of the line, averaging, like I've said it multiple times, Frankton did a great job holding him well below his season average, him not contributing very much until the end when it really mattered.
I mean, Gage Baker, I think, kind of turned the momentum as a whole for that Blackford team. Just started letting the threes rain there in the second half. What a matchup it was. Let's take a look at the Frankton Eagles and some of their total numbers. A hard-fought one for them tonight. Didn't end up in their favor, but still some pretty incredible performances on the floor.
Trey Bennett finishing with 15 points and 5 rebounds, as well as a great block down the stretch. Joey Wright, 11 points on the day, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Now, Brady Carmack. I got multiple numbers here, and I got to count my numbers. However, he does have 6 6 steals on the day. He also has 3 big rebounds. I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 points leading the way for Carmack. Multiples of those coming in transition offense.
Doesn't get a whole lot better than that for some Friday night high school basketball. Once again, final score, Blackford 61, Frankton 56. And a quick shout out to our sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. Tonight's game was built by Universal Roofing. Call Universal 317-257-0779 or visit universalrfg.com. Tonight's game was driven to you by Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. Experience the Greg Hubler promise at greghublerauto.com. The Mower Shop in Fishers, mower, snow throwers, parts, and more, all found at themowershop.com. Peterman Heating and Cooling. Call Peterman for same-day plumbing service, 317-608-1883. And wrapping things up is Johnson County Golf Carts. Experience the difference with Johnson County Golf Carts, where quality and service meet hometown hospitality. Visit Johnson County Golf Carts in downtown Franklin or at jcgolfcarts.com. One heck of a matchup between both Frankton teams and both Blackford teams tonight. The Frankton girls walk away with a win, and the Frankton boys fall just short of the Blackford Bruins in our second game here tonight. If you want to know where to catch us next Friday night as we get deeper into the season of basketball in the IHSAA, boy, do we have a good one coming up. We'll let you know on social media.
No.
X and Instagram at IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Thanks again for watching another broadcast of high school basketball on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
It's exciting Indiana high school basketball on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Tonight's ball game is driven by Greg Hubler Ford and built by Universal Roofing and brought to you by Peterman Brothers Heating and Air Conditioning, by Werner Financial, Genesis Sports Performance, and by the Mower Shop. Indiana high school basketball on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.